onto it. Back came the team that right now has not lost to the Orioles this year. Tonight, can the Orioles turn it around? Chris Tillman after the win. It's the Orioles on Masson and WJZ on a Saturday night here in Baltimore, and a beautiful night for baseball. Game 3 of the 4-game set. The Twins and the Orioles. The O's have not beaten the Twins yet this year. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne, and welcome. Wild card chase and division titles are up for grabs right now in the American League. There are 7 teams separated by just 3.5 games for the wild card spot. And for the Orioles and those other teams, destiny's in your own hands. Remaining schedule for the Orioles, take a look. These are the games that are really going to count. They've got 2 more against the Twins. Twins are looking for a wild card spot, 2 out. 3 against the Rangers. Rangers a half game out of the wild card. 3 at home, 4 on the road against the Rays. The Rays are just 2 games out of a wild card. 3 on the road, 4 at home against Toronto. Toronto bidding, of course, to overtake the Yankees. They are a +4 right now in the first wild card spot. And 3 at home, 3 on the road against the New York Yankees. Yankees right now lead in the division by just 1 game. So 25 of 41 remaining games are against wild card contenders. Yahoo! What a finish.
Yeah, the destiny's in their own hands, right? The Orioles have to start playing better baseball. Obviously, it has to start tonight against these Minnesota Twins. They haven't been able to pick up a win against this team all year long. And if the Orioles want to make it to the postseason, they better win tonight. And they've got to handle the Rays. They've got to handle the Rangers, who they have a losing record against. The Blue Jays, they've had a losing record against this year, and the Yankees as well. The only team they've beaten are the Rays. So, you know, they just have to turn things around. They understand that this is an important season or part of the year, and they have to play their best baseball, and it's got to turn around tonight. All
right, we'll see if they can do it tonight. Chris Tillman has never beaten the Twins before, so maybe those are the automatic adverse locks you look to. We'll see. Twins and Orioles coming up. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com and by Coons.com. When you're talking cars, you're talking Coons. What a beautiful evening. Our BGE home game time temperature at 80 degrees, humidity down 40%. BGE Home, Baltimore's home team for heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. Why would you call anyone else? Take a look at the lineup for the Twins. It will be Buxton, Dozier, and Mauer. Sano, Plouffe, Rosario, Hunter, Kurt Suzuki, and Escobar. Against the Orioles, the Minnesota catcher's having himself quite a season.
And let's take a look at the red-hot Chris Tillman here. His pitch arsenal, the fastball 66% of the time. Good four-seamer. He's been riding it to the top of the zone for punch-outs, burying it down at the bottom. He can two-seam it as well, getting more ground balls as of late. Breaking ball, the big curve, and the change, the straight change at 13% of the time. 9 wins on the year, 4.54 earned run average. Has been coming down slowly but surely. 85 punch-outs, 45 walks for Tillman, holding opponents to a .259 batting average. Is a fly ball pitcher. 55% of his outs in the air. Has given up 14 home runs on a nice little roll here as of late. 3-0 at home with a nice 2.13 earned run average since June 28th. So he's been doing very well here recently. Feels confident about his game and his release point. His delivery's cleaned up, and I think he's moving the ball around the zone where he wants to, and he needs to be on top of his game down the stretch.
He has not beaten Minnesota in his career. 0-3 with a 5.06 ERA. 6th start against them tonight. First pitch is there for a strike, and we are underway. Buxton, the young center fielder, in the leadoff spot with Dozier waiting on deck. He's had a 3 for 11 so far in the series. 0-1 delivery to him. That'll be in the outside corner for a strike. Tillman is working on a streak of 12 games without a loss. He has won 7, had 5 no decisions. Last loss came on May 31st. That one will be bounced, and a 1-ball 2-strike count. Now in there are some games he'd rather not have, like an inning and a third, 4 2/3, 2 1/3 inning games that have been included in that stretch of 12. But overall, the Orioles behind him have won 12 and lost 10 in his 22 starts. 1-2 delivery on the way, and that'll go down the line in right field, headed to the seats, foul.
Well, this year has been an incredible learning year for Chris Tillman. Started off real inconsistent. Actually had a stretch of 6 straight losses before he started this winning streak, and he had to make some adjustments. He had to move around on the mound. He's more in the middle of the pitching rubber now. He's had to change some of his pitch selection.
Got him on a foul tip into the mitt for the strikeout.
And he's come up with a great changeup. Take a look at this pitch here. Watch the late action at the bottom of the zone. Nice fade action, 80 miles an hour. Perfect pitch. There's the look at the changeup grip. And taking 10 miles an hour off and late fade on the plate.
So he gets a K to start it. That will bring Dozier up. Dozier with the 3 for 10 in the series. He has a 1 for 3 off Tillman. The off-speed pitch will be taken. Dozier hitting .273 this year against the Orioles. Couple of runs, 6 hits. Always someone that makes it tough on the O's. Top spot in that order in the number 2 hole. He is second in runs in the American League and has earned that with some really good at-bats.
See that batting average kind of diving down here the last couple months, but definitely a power threat. 25 home runs this season. Career high for Dozier, most ever by a Minnesota Twins second baseman.
Dozier with a 3-0 count. Very patient hitter. He'll take the walks if he can get them. Here's the 3-0 delivery to him. Dozier will get it. And so a walk on 4 straight with 1 down.
Now the walks have been hurting the O's for sure here recently, but let's take a look at the Orioles defense. Urrutia, Jones, and Parra in the outfield. Hardy and Scope up the middle. Machado and Davis once again on the corners, and Matt Wieters will do the catching tonight. Good to see J.J. Hardy out there on the field. Looked a little banged up in last night's ball game. Got tested out today, and he said, I'm good to go.
Groin problem for Hardy. They waited till after batting practice to decide whether he would play in the ball game tonight. Here is Mauer. Mauer 2 for 8 in the series, shows bunt as he's got Manny Machado moved over towards the shortstop side of it. Mauer's got a 3-game hit streak, couple of hits, 9 at bats, lifetime against Tillman. And he still does have power. The danger at the plate, especially in this ballpark. Orioles squeeze him towards the middle in the outfield, and he does bunt. Manny Machado can't get it. Fair ball. Big turn at second base made by Dozier, but he'll stay there, and there you go. whatever helps the ball club early on. You're trying to get runners and runs, and he gets a single.
You got that right. Try to push some runs across the board early. They know they're having a lot of success against the O's, and they're starting to turn things around after a very impressive first half of the season. Pitching has kind of let them down since the All-Star break, but the offense has stayed consistent. They're a dangerous team. You get a professional hitter up there and takes a look at the defense and lays a bunt down to put the pressure on this team and Chris Tillman.
So now 2 on here in the first inning with only 1 away, and Sano up, their young power hitter. Sano will foul it back. Home runs have been a bit of a problem. Tillman has allowed 4 homers in the last 9 1/3 innings over his last 2 starts. He had held off the home run ball with only 10 in 113 innings prior to that, which means, of course, pitches maybe a little bit up in the last couple of starts. 0-1 delivery. That one wasn't. Sano will take it for a strike at the knees. 0-2.
Well, he hasn't made a lot of mistakes here lately. Of course, got roughed up in Seattle where he gave up a couple home runs. But in his last start against the Oakland A's, 7 strong innings, only gave up 3 hits, but 2 of those were solo home runs. So he's making the occasional mistake on the plate.
Sano will take that one up high. 2 on here. Last night the Twins went 3 for 13 with runners in scoring position. Had a lot of chances, coming away with a 4-3 win on their comeback victory after the Orioles had come back. Paul Molitor's birthday. Happy birthday, Paul. He's 59 today. 1-2 delivery will be taken up high, and the count goes to 2-2. So Tillman having to work here in the first inning. Ground ball, though, will take care of all of that if he can get it. Dave Wallace looking on, the Oriole pitching coach in the dugout. So no, with a 2-ball 2-strike count, 1 out. Tillman's pitch to him will be put up in the air to right field. Parra back. And room on the warning track. Runner will tag at second. Dozier will move to third. Maurer will stay at first base. And Sano is the second out of the inning. Take a look at our Jeep Inside the Numbers regarding the Orioles starter.
Now, lowest earned run average at home since June 28th. Tillman leading the way with just a 1.26. He's had some deep, great outings here lately. Keuchel on that list. There's Kevin Gausman as well. He'll be picking up the start in tomorrow's ball game. The Orioles hoping Tillman and Gausman can continue their great success here at Camden Yards.
And a couple down here with runners at first and third. And here is Plouffe. Trevor Plouffe, productive series. Couple of RBIs, 3 for 9. He's 1 for 4 lifetime off Tillman. And the pitch will be taken outside for a ball. Twins have moved into first place in the league, 288 with runners in scoring position. The Orioles are third, but only 2 points behind them. So you got the Twins at 288, Toronto at 287, the Orioles at 286 with runner in scoring position averages. Plouffe will take that one. It's in there for a strike.
That's nice. If Chris Tillman can get that high strike, he can expand as well as anybody in the game at the top of the zone. So work the top early and then start riding the ladder up to the top. He'll get a lot of easy pop-ups or strikeouts up there.
Throw over, and on the bag is Maurer. Like most of the Orioles starters, Chris still has the good number with runners in scoring position. Opponents hitting .236. 15 points or so below the average in the American League in that department. And first and third here. 1 ball, 1 strike count on Plouffe. And he will swing at one that rides in on him. 92 on the 1 ball, 2 strike count pitch.
Boy, that's become Chris Tillman's go-to pitch, that 2-seam fastball. It holds the good velocity still. You saw 92 right there with the late movement. And he's been great at driving it to the bottom of the zone. Talk about his ground ball rate's been up since he's been on this nice little streak. That has been a big pitch.
1-2 delivery on the way. Line to short. Hardy's there. Snow cones it for the out. No runs. 1 hit. No errors. 2 are left on base. Orioles lineup coming up. Let's take a look at the O's lineup, brought to you by Southwest. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Machado, Power, and Jones, Davis, Wieters, and Scope, Clevenger, Hardy, and Urrutia for Matt Wieters this season. There are the numbers as catcher, as first baseman DH.
And let's take a look at Kyle Gibson's pitch arsenal this season. The fastball 60% of the time. It's a good one. Has a nice two-seamer. He gets a lot of ground balls from the two-seamer. Breaking ball has a slider and a curve, and the change is the straight change. Has a little sink action on it as well. 24 starts, 399 earned run average, 105 punch-outs, 48 walks on the year for Gibson. Opponents hitting .258. See that ground ball rate at 54%. He has given up 16 home runs, and he had a monster first half. One of the best in the past 20 years as far as earned run average concerned, but since the All-Star break, not so good.
Manny Machado leads it off. Manny comes in 7th in runs, 6th in hits in the league. He's had a 1-for-7 first 3 games of this series. Gibson's delivery to him will be inside. Gibson faced the Orioles in Minnesota, beat them, gave up 2 runs, 6 hits over 6 innings. At the time, it was his 3rd consecutive win. 2-0 delivery and a chopper off his foot, and a 2-ball 1-strike count.
And that's a look at that two-seam fastball boring in on Manny Machado. The Orioles are going to have to get him elevated, see it up. If anything starts down at the bottom of the zone, they're going to have to lay off it. This one looks like a pretty good pitch, but you see how it just starts boring downhill, down and in to Machado.
Here's the 2-1 delivery on the way, and Manny will take the pitch outside for a ball. He will give up some walks with 48 walks in 146 innings. Ratio of about 2-to-1 strikeouts to walks. 3-1 pitch on the way, and Manny laces that one into left field for a base hit. Rosario over, and the Orioles get the leadoff man on.
Take a look at the Twins defense tonight. Rosario, Buxton, and Hunter in the Twins outfield. Escobar and Dozier up the middle. Plouffe and Mauer on the corners, and Suzuki once again behind the plate. Red hot. Suzuki 8 hits, 17 at bats against the Orioles.
Parra with an 8-game hit streak. Red hot bat. He's continued it with a 2-for-8 home run, the 4 RBIs in this series. Parra hitting .276 this year against Minnesota. Some of the games with the Orioles, some with Milwaukee. Trying to bunt for a base hit, laid it down, going to go to first. Will get a sacrifice on that. He'll be credited with moving Manny Machado down to second base, one away.
Softened up out in front of home plate, and they really soak it down. And once that ball hit the dirt, it just stayed there for Suzuki, who jumped out behind home plate.
So now a runner in scoring position for the Orioles, and that will bring up Adam Jones. Adam with a 3-game hit streak coming into this one. 2 for 7, a hit in each of the last couple of ball games. See whether or not he can pick up an RBI and get the Orioles on the board early here in this game. Outfield will play him deep, and the infield back with one away. Dozier will hold the runner close at second base. Delivery to Jones will be foul back. Orioles last night only had 2 chances with a runner in scoring position. They ended up going 1 for 2 in the ball game. Credit Tommy Malone with a lot of that, as he mowed down the Orioles in the middle part of the ball game. Adam at .250. He's fallen off from the numbers that he had last year in these situations for the Orioles. He hit .320. 0-1 count. Machado off second base. Adam will take a bouncer that's inside.
Well, he's going to pitch Adam Jones tough. Knows he's a very dangerous hitter. The middle of this lineup is Jones and Davis. Probably one of the best combinations in the game right now. Both very hot, swinging the bat well. Limit those mistakes. You see him riding that 2-seamer down and in, trying to move Jones's feet a little bit.
Here's the 1-1 delivery on the way. Jammed him. It'll go to third. It'll hold the runner. Plouffe. Little lollipop toss over there and gets Jones. So 2 down, unproductive out. Interesting number I saw in Kyle today is that he gets 37% of his strikes on pitches that are not in the strike zone. That is the highest in the major leagues. The problem for him has been since the All-Star break, balls put in play, it's a .352 batting average. Before the break it was .271. So it's where they're hitting him.
That's right.
Before the All-Star break he was getting the outs. Balls put in play were outs. Since the All-Star break, balls put in play have been hits. 2 down, runner still at second base. Here's Chris Davis. And Chris will take the pitch inside for a ball. So with that scouting report, you'd figure the Orioles probably going to be a little extra patient, figuring that Gibson, who gets all those strikes on pitches out of the zone, is going to try and do that here. You got to force him to throw some strikes.
Yeah, you really do. You got to bring him up in the top of the zone. Can't play into his game. If you show you're going to swing down with this two-seamer or his breaking balls down at the bottom of the zone, he will take advantage of that. Most pitchers recognize it. Malone was doing it in last night's ball game. So threw a lot of changeups down and away to the righties, and Orioles kept pulling the trigger on it.
2-0 count on him. Pitch will be taken inside. Saw the pitching coach Neil Allen on the other side. One of the things Neil has done with Gibson here in the second half when he struggled, they've moved him closer to the middle of the rubber, try and get a better perspective on that strike zone. He'd been working on the first base side, and now they've moved him back into the middle. 3-0 delivery on the way, and Davis will take the strike at the knees.
Yeah, pitchers make those adjustments many times. They started one way to help create an angle on the pitches that they have, and then they have to make adjustments just so they can command the ball a little bit better. Chris Tillman has had to do that this season, and Gibson as well.
Miss Davis, 283, runners in scoring position, has got one out there. Swing and a miss, and again a throttle back pitch at 82 miles an hour.
Well, he plays that changeup off the fastball to lefties. The first strike he threw to Davis was a two-seam fastball. That changeup 8 or 9 miles an hour slower, but it looked like the exact same pitch.
So now a 3-ball 2-strike count, 2 down. Machado had the leadoff single, moved up to second on the sacrifice by Parra, but still there. Long look back, 3-2 delivery on the way, and that'll get away. So not only will it be ball 4, it'll also move a runner up. And Machado goes to third base on the walk to Davis. First and third with 2 outs.
Gibson was being real careful there to Chris Davis. Nothing on the plate. Mayer tries to finish him off with a breaking ball. But yanks it, almost hits Davis, gets away from Suzuki, and now got to be careful. Well, bouncing balls with Machado on third.
That's the 5th wild pitch thrown by Gibson, so he could give you a chance to score. In Machado's case, at third base. Matt's got a 1 for 8 in this series. He's sitting at 235 in these situations this year. So the Orioles got a chance to get on the board here in the first inning, and that one will miss. Inside, maybe up. The other thing that's happened to Gibson in the second half, he was one of the most pronounced ground ball pitchers in the first half of the year. Since the All-Star break, he's 50-50. So that means the ball's coming up. Instead of being down as often as he was before the break, the pitches have been up and hittable. 1-0 delivery is way up, and the count goes to 2-0.
Well, you got to believe every time a team faces Gibson, the scouting report says you have to get him elevated. So teams have slowly but surely been able to make those adjustments, especially here in the second half. First half, no chance, and he took advantage of some of the aggressiveness.
Yep. 2-0 count. He gets one to hit here. Nope. He'll be up and away.
Well, the highest earned run average since the All-Star break, Kyle Gibson, believe it or not, at 7.91. Montgomery, Jimenez on the list there, Bauer, Guthrie, and Gibson had a 2.85 earned run average before the All-Star break. That was like one of the top 4 all-time last 20 years for the Twins.
That has popped up in the infield. They mean a silo shot behind the mound. Kind of funny. Everybody backed off. Kloof was the only one who really wanted anything to do with that. The others were more than happy to give it to him. Orioles will leave a couple on base. tonight's game brought to you by Miller Lite. Orioles have not beaten the Twins. 0-5. Twins have out hit them 318 to 229. They've outscored them 36 to 13. They've out homered the Orioles 8-6, and they've out pitched them 2.54 to 7.27. That ERA the Orioles have against the Twins is the highest ERA the O's have this year against any team that they have played. Tonight, Tillman trying to undo that and get that W against this yet another team battling for a wild card spot. And the pitch will be taken down low for a ball. Eddie Rosario.
Well, the Twins have been playing some really good baseball. If not for a little letdown from the starters, they may have been pushing the Royals for first place. Starters earned run average has really ballooned since the All-Star break, but this is a very well-rounded team. It's an offense that when you look at their numbers on paper, it doesn't blow you out of the water, but runners in scoring position, best in the game. They have scrappy hitters. They have talented young hitters. And, of course, some veterans sprinkled in there that are continuing to have success even later in their careers. So nice combination. Of course, I think just the addition of Paul Molitor added some extra spark and fire to this team.
Swing and a miss on that one, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Rosario, 3 RBIs in this series with that 3 for 8 you saw. Hunter and Suzuki to follow. 6, 7, 8 in the order, due up against Tillman. Infield, moved around, playing him to pull. He'll foul that one off the other way. Yankees, of course, got their win today over Cleveland by a score of 6-2. We'll talk about it later, but what it means is the Orioles are now 5.5 games off the pace for the division lead. And realistically, it's about the wild card right now. They still could catch them. I mean, who knows? But right now it's a wild card look. Down to first base. It'll be played by Davis to the bag, and Rosario is retired. That'll bring up Hunter to the plate, and how about those numbers?
Yeah, 7 through 9 batters since August 15th have been on fire. Batting average at 355, the on-base percentage high, home runs at 3, RBIs 18, runs. I mean, all tops in the league, or second or third in the league. In this series, they've all done it just as consistently. 9 for 24, 5 runs, 9 RBI. Escobar picked up a home run and a double. So, you know, they've got Hunter down at the bottom. Suzuki's torn up the Orioles this season. Escobar and Nunez will slide in there. Rosario sometimes gets down to 7, 8, 9. So good thump down there.
Scope is back. He will put it away. Hunter is retired. And there are 2 down here in the second inning. So Tillman gets a couple of quick outs. And that'll bring Suzuki to the plate against him. Suzuki's got a 5-game hit streak going, a 6-game hit streak in road games. On that 6-game streak on the road, he's gone 10 for 24. And you see the numbers he's put up in this series. Look at that, 5 for 9 and 4 runs batted in the first 3 games of this 4-game set. He's 2 for 9 off Tillman, and his pitch to him is in there for a strike.
You know, even when the Orioles offense starts clicking, it seems like the bottom of the order really starts to ignite them. When Caleb Joseph gets going and Jonathan Scope, whoever's down at the bottom of the lineup, there's a huge carryover. I think it excites obviously the top of the lineup. They get to drive him in, but Caleb Joseph having a monster year.
You get table setters at the bottom. We always talk about table setters being 1 and 2, but boy, if you can get it 7, 8, 9. Changes the whole look of the game. That one, Parra is playing shallow. Diving, and he's got it. Suzuki's retired. Parra playing in right field. Makes an outstanding catch the end of the inning. With a little help from his knee, side's retired in order. for being selected. 500 more for every Orioles home run hit tonight. Play baseball, Buck Scratch House win up to $50,000 or enter non-winning tickets for a chance to be the contestant of the game. Go to mdlottery.com/baseball. Oriole, of course, using the home run for a goodly part of the runs they've scored this year. They are still 4th in the American League in homers. They are tied for 4th in runs scored and 5th in average in the AL. Jonathan Scope will lead it off. Scope, Clevenger, and Hardy will be due up for the Orioles. Orioles homestand will be coming to a conclusion tomorrow in the afternoon game against the Twins. Orioles have gone 5-3 so far in the stand. So these two games will have a telling effect on 500 or better. Swing and a miss. Good breaking ball away.
Yeah, real good slider there from Gibson. Has a curveball as well, but slider the primary go-to spin pitch for Gibson.
1 ball, 1 strike count, and that'll be fouled off. Another thing about Gibson has been his numbers home and road, which not unusual for pitchers, but his ERA on the road has been about 2 runs higher, 5.05. 11 road starts this year, 2 runs higher than his 12 starts at Target Field in Minnesota. 1-2 delivery on the way, and that'll get in a little bit. Jackknifed away, and a 2 ball, 2 strike count.
Target Field, a pretty pitcher friendly ballpark, although seen it fly out of there.
Nonetheless, when the Orioles were there, it just seemed to be jumping.
Yeah.
Good off speed pitch. Had him out in front of it for a strikeout.
Now that changeup, pretty impressive. Throwing off the sinker. He jackknife Scope with a 2-seam fastball, and then comes right back in there with the changeup. See the circle change grip, but turns it over, holds it like the 2-seam fastball, and it gets that same type of action. Just 8 miles an hour slower.
So 1 away, first strikeout for him. Clevenger, 5-game hit streak, goes after it, make it 6. That didn't take long. Clevenger is just seeing the ball. He's got a 1-out single, 2nd inning. Tomorrow, come out, watch the Birds celebrate the other animals in your life, as the first 20,000 fans will receive the Orioles pet leash. Those take on the Twins tomorrow afternoon. 4-legged friends can show their Birdland colors too. For tickets, Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. Final game tomorrow with Kevin Gausman against Mike Pelfrey. Sunday afternoon game. Here is J.J. Hardy. 0 for 5 so far in this series. 1 down. J.J. came out early today and did some running. John Russell came out with him along with Richie Bancels, the trainer. Groin problem that acted up in the ball game last night. A constant back problem that flares. And there was a question whether or not he'd be able to play or not in this game, or whether Buck would give him a rest. But after the workout, he did some running, did some sprints, did some agility drills, and JJ said, I'm okay to go, and so here he is.
Well, JJ Hardy, very mentally strong. Unfortunately, that takes a little away when you have to grind through some injuries, play with injuries. The mental toughness gets shot a little bit. JJ, nice to see him back on the field. Last night's ball game hit a little nubber off the end of the bat, and I think when he was breaking out of the box, it might have caught him a little bit. Stayed in the ball game. He just didn't look very comfortable.
Yeah. 1 ball, 1 strike count on him. Steve Pearce, playing a rehab game today, is going to be ready to come back. Throw over. Buck Showalter intimating at the press conference today that the decision on what they'll do regarding Pearce, apparently on Monday, could depend on how J.J. Hardy feels after the games this weekend, which would seem to feel they're a little concerned about whether J.J. is going to be able to continue to go or not. And whether it's Hardy or someone else, Pearce looks like he'll be back on Monday. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Gibson, 27-year-old right-hander, 23 wins, 25 losses in his career. He was 13-12 last year. He's dropped his ERA about a half a run a game from last season, 4.5 to 3.99. 2-1, runner goes, hit and run, chopper to short, gonna have to go to first and in a hurry. JJ just cannot run hard. I mean, he runs as hard as he can, but there's just no speed in it. So Escobar able to get the out. And it's time for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use Ho's Couch Cam, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile.
And even when you tell yourself to kind of go easy in a ball game, you know, the adrenaline is still there, and you're still going to have a little bit of a push, and at times even the reaction on ground balls. I mean, you have to have that, you know, that energy to go get them, and you know it doesn't feel very good as you saw him there walking down into the clubhouse.
Urrutia goes to left. It's in the gap, and scooped, gets by him. Run will score. Urrutia to second with a double and an RBI. Clevenger off and running with 2 down, crosses, and the Orioles have the lead.
A great piece of hitting right there by Henry Urrutia, staying inside this pitch. It's on the inner third, but he pulls the hands in through, barrels it up. Let's carry out into the gap. Rosario misplaying a little bit. Good backup by Buxton. But the J.J. Hardy and Clevenger hit and run. J.J. executes it, gets Clevenger in the scoring position, and Henry picking up his first double of his career. In the same homestand, picked up his first career home run.
He's got 6 RBIs in 7 games with the Orioles for Urrutia, and a 1-0 lead. Now Manny Machado. Machado will go towards third base, played by Plouffe, and that will retire the side. But the Orioles get a run on a couple of hits, no errors, 1 left, and the Orioles 1-0. Chris Davis, 12-year-old Jesse Brocato of Annandale, Virginia, a Special Olympics athlete who had a dream come true today. Prior to the game, Chris Davis meeting her in the clubhouse, and she got the throw out the first pitch, and Chris Davis came out, and she threw a strike. What else when you're a great athlete? And she's watching the ball game tonight. Her sister wrote a great article about her, Abby, who said, I understand why people treat her the way they do. Instead of seeing the needs, they see the special. Great.
Yeah, good stuff right there.
Here is Escobar, and he will take it for a strike. Escobar, number 9 in the order. So what a day for her and for Chris.
Yeah.
Tillman with the 0-1 delivery.
In between innings, she was trying to get on the big screen. She was just waving her arms. That Cameron, get on me, get on me. He's all fired up to be here.
That's a great moment for her. Buxton, top of the order, waiting on deck. Escobar will take the one that bounces. 0 for 2, the only times he has faced Tillman. This Minnesota ball club, 17-17 in 1-run ball games now with the victory they picked up in the 4-3 win last night. Orioles dropped to 17-20 in 1-run games, and he got it. Strikeout number 2.
High fastball Coming up big here for Chris Tillman. Escobar at the bottom, an important first out here to want this lineup turning over with somebody on base, and you see it riding to the top, and it holds true. It's almost like a rising fastball. Escobar just getting a piece of it. Nice job by Wieters to hold on.
First out recorded in all 3 innings. It's a number Chris is trying to improve on at 57% this year, getting leadoff batters, well below his 71% that he had last year. Buxton, a strikeout victim, his first time up, and he will take that pitch for a strike. Twins on a road trip. They've gone 2-3 through the first 5. They're going to have a day off tomorrow, and then they'll have a 3-game series in Tampa. 1-1 pitch, and that'll miss a little bit down low. 2-1 strike count.
Well, Twins have had a very interesting season, to say the least. I mean, you know, getting postseason pictures in their eyes the first half, and of course the skid we've been talking about after the All-Star break, but they've had success all year long against every division. They've won in the American League East. They've won in their own division. They've won against the West. The only thing they haven't done well this year is play interleague play well. They've lost against the National League, and of course they're matched up against St. Louis and the Cubs, so pretty tough division.
Parra going back. He is there. He's got it. And Buxton is retired, 2 away. When the Orioles return home after the upcoming road trip, postseason races are going to heat up even more. O's host the Rays, 3-game set beginning Monday, August 31st. Tuesday, September 1. Don't miss Ollie's Bargain Night. Presented by Ollie's Bargain Outlet. Upper reserves only $10. Tickets, Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. 2 down, bases empty. Infield shifts around on Dozier. Dozier drew a walk his first time up. 2 down here in the 3rd inning. And Dozier will take the pitch for a ball. Second in runs in the league, where he has been for the past few weeks. Counts for more times crossing the plate than any other member of his ball club. 1-0 pitch. He's also been a good double hitters for this team. He's been up there among the leaders in doubles in the American League most of the season. Right now he is 5th with 31. 1 ball, 1 strike. Delivery to him is outside.
Well, he's really become an impact player. A few seasons now with the Twins. Came up as a shortstop. A little too tough, I think, mentally for him. Got to relax a little bit. Ron Gardenhire moved him over to second base, and his offense has just taken off the last couple of years.
Tillman gets that one on the 80-mile-an-hour delivery. Good pitch.
See Chris Tillman versus righties, his pitch arsenal. Fastball 64%, the breaking ball 24%, and the changeup 12% of the time. Of course, we've seen that 2-seamer he's been working in, or that fastball.
2-2 into the shift. Jonathan Scope right behind second base will make the play. And a 1-2-3 inning. It's going to be 8 in a row set down. The Orioles have the 1-0 lead. in these dog days. They have scored 91 runs, fourth in the American League. The Red Sox have exploded offensively in August. The Orioles have the most home runs in the month in the American League at 32. The OPS is ranked third. Boston's #1 there. And who would ever have thought the Orioles ranked 10th in earned run average in the month of August, and Toronto ranks first? You would have thought it would be flipped the other way.
Yeah, you really would. But they have certainly stepped up. I think the addition of David Price will certainly help add some confidence to that rotation.
Toronto making a run at the Yankees, but the Yankees just refuse to lose ball games. Toronto's playing the Angels on the West Coast tonight. Here is Parra, who will take the pitch for a strike. Sacrifice, first time up. Our Maryland Live Casino inside the numbers.
Oh yeah, Parra has been swinging a hot bat. 8-game hit streak, 400, 4 homers, 9 RBIs, 9 runs, 1.188 OPS. He's been so impressive, playing a real good defense, and hammering the ball to right field for those home runs up in the flag court.
That's joining the Orioles. He's hitting .284. 5 home runs, 10 RBIs, 17 runs scored in 19 games for the Orioles. 0-2 delivery on the way. Parra will take the breaking ball. It'll be inside. And a 1-ball 2-strike count from Gibson.
I was reading a stat on Parra. Now, we try to find out about these guys when they come over from another league, but since June 11th, he's been hitting .354, the highest in all of baseball. So he's been a clutch performer. Has great numbers.
You can see why the Orioles were fortunate to get him. We were talking between innings. I mean, this is a good ball player. This is just a really good all-around player. Yeah,
well-rounded. Uses the whole field. He can hit anywhere in the lineup, but of course Buck loves him at the top. Slid right into the #2 hole nicely.
1-ball 2-strike count on him. Defense straight up. Parra sacrifices first time up. Will go to second base. Big hop played by Dozier. And gets the out. And 1 down. For every Orioles walk, Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield gives $50 to the March of Dimes. 292 walks, $14,600. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. Adam Jones coming up. Adam grounded out his first time up. Worthy of note, early we talked about how when Gibson is pitching really well, he is a predominant ground ball pitcher. He's getting ground balls to this point early in the ball game. That's a good sign for him. And a swing and a miss on that ball that's had some movement down and away from right-handers.
Yeah, typical sinker slider pitcher to right-handed hitters. And you know, the good ones, they get that late movement real close to home plate, so it's hard to make that decision.
0-1 hit the third. Plouffe. 2 down. Another ground ball out. Celebrate the 20th anniversary of Cal Jr.'s historic 21-31 game here at the Yard on Tuesday, September 1. Baseball's Iron Man throws out the ceremonial first pitch before the game against the Rays. Good seats still remain for the AL East matchup, but they will not last. You can get yours at 888-848-BIRD or Orioles.com. Waiting while the shift is put on. With Chris Davis coming up. Chris drew a walk his first time up. Chris has been hitting the ball well, not just long balls either. Ground ball into the shift this time. Dozier back. Will make the play. 3 ground ball outs here in the third. We've completed 3 in the third game of this 4-game set. Orioles lead it 1-0. Low fare now at Southwest.com and by your local Mercedes dealership. Just a hint of fall coming along the way. This lady you see in the middle, those are obviously the Hawaiian shirts. And we think she has taken 2 or 3 of them and made a dress out of it. We saw this lady in Anaheim.
Yeah?
Yeah. And she had that dress on there. And I got to believe it was put together. How can a woman wear the same dress twice? I don't know. But who is her wardrobe coordinator? Yeah, that's pretty good. That was great. And the pitch is taken for a strike. Imagine if men thought they had to wear different clothes every time they went somewhere to go out or something.
Oh,
it's not possible.
No, it is not.
I barely get the shirts back to wear for games in time for the next series. Here is Mauer. Mauer to base hit his first time up. Orioles a run on 3 hits. The Twins 0 and 1. That one hit being Mauer's base hit.
Chris Tillman, great command of all of his pitches right now, and we've seen this trend slowly start to build here over the past couple months, and it needed Chris Tillman to step up and be this team's ace, and he's really starting to feel it.
1-2 delivery on the way is going to be up high. So a 2-ball 2-strike count. Tight ball game to start here with both pitchers on, Gibson and Tillman. Chris is trying to set a mark. If he'd get a win here today, he'd be the first Orioles pitcher since 2007 to have these straight decisions in 9 games. Adam Jones, he got it. Oh, mercy. He's going to smile on that one. He started in a different direction, realized he had to come in, lost a little bit of his footing, and still able to make the catch.
Boy, these are some tough reads for outfields. This ball is squared up, probably knuckling out to Adam Jones. Adam Jones makes the best lines and reads on balls hitting the outfield. But there off the bat, it's moving all over the place. He breaks back, then comes forward, and the ball starts diving. And this is a tremendous play for Jones.
So Adam helps out, gets the out, immediately goes to the sunflower seeds.
Yeah, you're saying Kirby, it would have gone under his glove.
Sano will take the pitch, and it will miss.
Take a look at this concentration from Adam Jones when he started breaking back, and then he sees the ball start diving. A little bit of panic set in, but he kept his cool and came up with a great play.
Breaking ball from Tillman's going to miss up high. Sano flied out to right field his first time up. What I was saying about Tillman is that the last Orioles pitcher, Eric Bedard, in 2007 was the last one to win 8 consecutive decisions. He won 9 in a row. Bedard did back in 07. Tillman is trying to pick up 8 if he can get it done with a victory here in this ball game. 2-ball 2-strike count. Sano to be followed by Plouffe. 2-2 delivery on the way. Had him fooled. Held up long enough on the swing, though, to foul it off.
Boy, he's got great command right now of his breaking ball. And when he starts flipping that thing up there consistently for strikes, he is tough to beat. He's keeping this team off balance right now. They have been swinging it here recently, and he needed somebody to step up. And Tillman is throwing the whole arsenal at this team right now.
2-2 delivery on the way, and got him to chase one outside. Strikeout number 3 for Tillman.
Really good young hitter here, Sano, and Tillman's got to mix it up. He goes 2-seam fastball, breaking ball, and finishes him off with a nice change. It works itself off that outside edge.
So 2 down here in the 4th inning. Plouffe is up, lined out his first time up. Takes the pitch for a strike. Chris does need those first pitch strikes. He is a pitcher who relies on that to be better. And first pitch strikes, hitters 219, 1-0, 294. Outside corner for a strike, 0-2.
Well, he is just rocking and firing right now. He's got himself a nice little rhythm. Got to keep it going. Mixing up his pitches, not falling into any type of pattern, and aggressive in the zone.
0-2 the count. That'll be outside for a ball. Isn't ploof a word that should have been in Mary Poppins? And ploof, he was gone.
That's hee-haw.
Well, that is hee-haw. That was hee-haw, wasn't it? Yes. It wasn't ploof. I don't remember what the word was. Poof, I guess. And poof, he was gone.
He went.
And that's right. It was one of those. A 1-ball, 2-strike count. Tillman's delivery to him, and ploof, you're out. And ploof, he was gone. Here are the Mazda do-ups. It'll be Wieters, Scope, and Clevenger. College. Take a look at this day in baseball. Back in 1989, Ricky Henderson was the victim. 96-mile-an-hour fastball, and Nolan Ryan, the first and only with 5,000 strikeouts. And all the way back to 1917, a record set. It was Carson Bigby, a major league record who had 11 at-bats in a 22-inning game. He played for the Pirates, played against the Dodgers. 1917, 11 ABs.
Wow.
Your average can take a real hit if you have a bad day with 11 at-bats. Here's Matt Wieters, a 1-0 ball game. There's Adam Jones explaining his great catch. Wayne Kirby showing him how he would have made it easier.
Adam just turns his back. I'm going to hang out with the hitting coach now. Oh,
Wayne out there coaching first, of course. And a 2-0 count. Wieters popped out first time up. He'll take the strike on that one. Wieters, Scope, and Clevenger due up here in the bottom of the 4th inning. No walks, 1 strikeout for Gibson. 1 walk, 4 strikeouts for Tillman. Turns on that one, and that'll be a foul ball.
Gibson hasn't made a lot of mistakes. I know you're watching these twin starters and you're wondering where did things go wrong, because it seems like they've been on top of their game here against the Orioles.
Seen 3 really good starts. 2-2 delivery to Wieters, and it'll break inside. Matt had his 8-game hit streak snapped in the ball game last night. 3 doubles, 9 home runs, 18 RBIs, 18 runs scored in his last 18 ball games. And that one to first base will also be foul. 3-ball, 2-strike count. Gibson having to work here on the 3-2 count. Orioles have had a leadoff man on in one of the first 3 innings. Machado in the first was stranded. Full count delivery, and he's gone. So Gibson will get the strikeout. That'll be his second one away here in the 4th inning.
Pulls the 2-seamer back right there. Working Matt Wieters down in the bottom of the zone. Got ahead, down and away. Finishes him off. Nice little action. Starts at Wieters' hip. Works right back over that inside corner, and Wieters kind of senses that it's going to be strike 3.
Now the Orioles get Jonathan Schoop to the plate. A strikeout victim, his first time up. Swing and a miss, and a good pitch again. Right-handers having trouble picking that one up. That's ending up outside the strike zone.
Well, that changeup has been coming up big for Gibson. He's throwing at first pitch to get ahead. Throwing it to both lefties and righties.
Left-handers 235, right-handers 281. Right-handers have 10 of the 16 home runs that he surrendered. 1-1 delivery on the way. Gibson got it in, driven. It's going to turn away from the center fielder and find the gap. That'll go to the wall. Burton going over to get it into the cutoff man. It's a double for Schoop.
A real nice piece of hitting from Jonathan Schoop, picking up his 9th double of the year to go along with 9 home runs. Going to be able to drive a slider into the gap, especially a well-located slider, if you don't keep that front side closed. He keeps the front hip and the front shoulder on this baseball as long as possible. Of course, helped out by those long arms, barrels it up, and that one makes it all the way to the wall on one hop.
Orioles 1 for 4 with runners in scoring position in the game. The RBI double by Urrutia that came in the 2nd inning, bringing home Clevenger. Now the Orioles get another chance. Here is Steve Clevenger, and he'll put it in the air to center. Buxton back. Runner will go back to the bag. Clevenger is retired. 2 down. Our PNC minor league report.
Take a look at Steve Johnson. Last 15 games, earned run average of 1.05. 25 2/3 of quality pitching. 15 hits given up, just 6 walks, 26 strikeouts. Now Steve Johnson kind of struggled with some injuries, of course, recovering from some shoulder surgery over the offseason, then had an oblique problem, but he is on top of his game right now. He's starting to get extended a little bit, 2+ innings at a time coming out of the bullpen, and Buck Showalter certainly has his eye on him. Don't forget what Steve Johnson did back in 2012 for this team. He made it into the postseason. 12 games, 4 starts, and his earned run average is just a touch over 2. So Steve Johnson back on the map. They're thinking about using him in September.
Yep. You mentioned Wright, Wilson, and Rowe today, talking about the expanded roster and players coming back. September 1, of course, when the roster can be expanded. 1-0 count, runner off second base. Jonathan Schoop pitched to J.J. Hardy away. Hardy grounded out his first time up. J.J. this year 272 with runners in scoring position. Good solid numbers. Schoop with good speed, and of course he'll be going on anything hit with 2 down. Buxton has shortened it up in center, moving in half dozen steps there after that last pitch. 2-0 delivery on the way, and that's going to miss, and the count goes to 3-0 with Urrutia, who's got the RBI, waiting on deck.
Now, this would be a nice walk. Get the lefty up there. Urrutia is feeling pretty good at the plate right now.
3-0 count. Hardy, nothing to look at there. There's the first walk surrendered by Gibson. 2 on, 2 down. Now let's see what the O's can do with it. Chance to add to their 1-0 lead, and a chance for Urrutia again. 4-game hit streak now for Urrutia with a double and an RBI in the 2nd inning. He's had 3 hits and 4 at bats in this series. And now he's got runners at first and second base. Escobar holding the runner close at second. Pitch will miss for a ball. 5 in a row out of the strike zone.
Now, lefties go up against Gibson, they really have to gear towards that outer third. That sinker moving away. We've only seen him throw that fastball in one time, and that was to get Matt Wieters. He'll throw occasional breaking balls to the lefties, but primarily stay on that outer third.
And that one's going to miss. And that will bring Suzuki out to the mound to talk to Gibson. Can't find the strike zone right now. As we said, he has walked a few and just gets out of whack, which is they've been trying to fix up those mechanics, moving him around on the rubber. So Urrutia may get one to hit here. Urrutia's gone coming into the game 4 for 7 with runners in scoring position. And he got the RBI in the second inning on his double. Escobar jockeying at second with Scope to hold him close. 2-0 delivery on the way to him. And that is a strike at the knees, but certainly didn't give in on that pitch.
Yeah, quality pitcher's pitch there. Driving a two-seamer to the bottom of the zone. Pulling up that down and away quadrant.
2-1 strike count. Book right now on Urrutia apparently. Go the other way in the outfield. They shade him to left. 2-1 pitch on the way. Goes the other way. Knocked down by Mauer. He's got to go to the bag, and he gets there. And Urrutia trips over his foot. Mauer intended to flip that to Gibson, the pitcher, but Gibson stopped running. So he had to go to the bag himself, and thus a collision at first base between Mauer and Urrutia. Urrutia gets up and is headed back to the outfield.
Jeez, what happened to Gibson? Well, I wonder why he stopped. I mean, it's a bullet. A little bit of a
knee
collision.
To knee, huh?
Knee to knee, not good.
So the Orioles gone will leave 2-1. Back after that collision with Mauer. Mauer went in the dugout, pointed to the side of his knee, and was kind of limping as he went down under.
Oh, he limped off the field. A couple big guys, full speed, run into each other knee to knee. That does not feel good.
Rosario will lead it off as we go to the 5th inning. Rosario grounded out his first time up. First inning, the only chance the Twins have had against Tillman. They got a walk and a single with one away. Tillman got the next 2 outs. The Orioles had a chance in the first, got a couple on, 2 down, didn't score, and then came through in the Urrutia double in the second inning, and that's been it. Pitchers have dominated.
Very efficient here for Tillman. Nice mix of all of his pitches. Great command. Doesn't have to put any away right now.
And he got him tag put on just in case. 5 strikeouts. 3 in a row.
Yeah, this is the thing about Tillman. There are times when he just can't find the command of that breaking ball. So an opposing offense just files it away. They just spit on the breaking ball. Here he throws it for a strike and then buries it for the strike out. Perfect execution on both curveballs.
We'll bring Torrey Hunter to the plate. Torrey popped out his first time up. He's 1 for 5 with a home run lifetime off Tillman. Hunter will take the pitch for a strike. Texas Rangers making things interesting as they're in a battle now for the wild card spot. They've won 7 of their last 9. They're tied with the Orioles. A half game out of the second wild card spot coming into today's play. They've got a 4-0 lead in Detroit tonight. 0-2 count. And Hunter asked for timeout.
One thing that the Orioles have to do is they can't concern themselves about things that happened in the past. Yesterday's ball game, 2 days ago, all that has to be forgotten, and they can't think about what's ahead. You hear Buck Showalter and this team has been really good about staying in the moment. They have to do that one game at a time, really one pitch at a time. Tonight they just have to focus on beating the Twins.
Good jam shot right there. Scope up, and Hunter's retired. There are 2 down. Take a look at the upcoming schedule, brought to you by Mile One Automotive, offering you 20 convenient locations throughout the Baltimore area. Visit the men's store or online at mile1.com.
Yeah, and a big reason why they don't want to look ahead is look who's coming up. Kansas City Royals coming up. They got one more against the Twins, and then off to Kansas City. 8 o'clock, 3 8 o'clock starts, then an afternoon start on Thursday. Of course, Kansas City Royals made it to the World Series last season. They beat the Orioles in the postseason to get there, so should be a pretty exciting matchup.
Some real good pitching matchups, as you would expect. Kurt Suzuki up. Tillman delivers to him. Suzuki fouls it off. It'll be Ubaldo Jimenez against Chris Medlin, game 1 in Kansas City. Miguel Gonzalez against Danny Duffy, a left-hander. Wei-Yin Chen against Johnny Cueto, and Chris Tillman against Giordano Ventura. Those are the matchups right now for the 4-game set in KC. Suzuki, the 0-1 delivery by Tillman to second base. Jonathan Scope stays in front, gets the hop, and gets the out. Side is retired in order. Chris Tillman has done that now the last 4 innings.
Flashing the leather. Not only can he swing it, he can flash it. Beautiful play there by Parra. And then Urrutia driving in Clevenger. He's come up with some big hits here recently. Clevenger on base with a single to keep his streak alive. And take a look at Adam Jones making it interesting on a line drive from Mauer. But nice to see him come up with a big smile on his face. Nice play by Jonesy. Remember, Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote.
Great view there along the warehouse on this beautiful summer night. What a ball game. Here's Manny Machado. Machado a base hit, and he has grounded out. 1-4-0 for the Orioles, 0-1-0 the Twins. Mauer's single, their only hit off Tillman. Orioles have left 5, 2 left on by the Twins. Tillman's retired 14 in a row. 1-0 delivery on a check swing strike. Talking about Kansas City, they're playing in Boston. The Red Sox have won 6 of 8, hitting .366 with 15 home runs. during that 8-game span. They are playing the Royals. Red Sox have outscored opponents 26-8 during their 4-game win streak. Royals 31-28 on the road, but they've dropped 8 of their last 12 road games. Their ERA on the road in those games is 5. Strike taken away, and the count will go to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Gibson really starting to settle in himself. Nice mix of all of his pitches. Great confidence with that changeup thrown in early in the count.
Will miss a little bit inside with that one. So the count will go to 3-2 on Manny, who's been flirting with that 300 batting average of late. You see against the Twins, that's exactly what he's got. 300 batting average. 299 overall. And he got out in front of it and supplies a hard souvenir.
Another changeup, steady diet of changeups to Manny Machado here. They're happy about
some
it.
excitement down there. 3 ball, 2 strike count. And Manny towards the hole where they weren't playing. A nice stop. Dozier, good pick made by Mauer. That's a nice defensive play to get the out.
It really was nice anticipation of that hop, making the sliding play. But look at the glove position. Somehow able to keep those eyes behind the baseball, come up with a nice play. Good concentration, gets himself low. Nice little spin around, throw down in the dirt a little bit, but Mauer picks him up on the end.
Play by Dozier. Here is Parra. Sacrifice, and he is grounded out. Dozier of the J.J. Hardy School of Fielding right there, though. Keep that hand away from the glove.
Yeah.
So it doesn't get in the way. That's exactly what he did. Pitch taken for a strike. Parra with a couple of hits, 7 at bats. Lifetime off Gibson. 13-game winner last year, was 13-12, 8-9 this season, even though the ERA is down a half a run a game. Check swing into the screen, and quickly an 0-2 count on Parra. Two-strike pitch. That'll be in the dirt. Bounce that one.
Hasn't really thrown a lot of breaking balls. I think he's feeling too good about that changeup and that 2-seam fastball, but you have to keep showing them. You have to keep it in hitters' heads that you have the secondary pitches, and they're bouncing one wisely up 0-2.
And the 1-2 delivery on the way to Parra, and a swing, and it's a fair ball. And he's thrown out. Suzuki coming out of there in a hurry to get the out, and there are 2 down. O's fans never miss a game update, behind the scenes moment of exclusive contests and more. Follow Masson Orioles on Twitter for all the latest Orioles buzz. Again, that's Masson Orioles on Twitter. Lots of orange in the ballpark tonight. Another good crowd on hand. Over 32,000 at the ball game last night, and probably more than that here tonight. 2 down, bases are empty. Adam Jones has grounded out to third twice in the ball game. Orioles on this homestand averaging almost 5.9 runs per ball game, giving up about 4.8. So it has been a highly offensive homestand for the Orioles so far, to their advantage, 5-3. Jones goes after it, fouls it back.
I'd like to put up a crooked number here, get some separation between this Twins team. Twins have all of a sudden regained some interest in the postseason, so playing some pretty good baseball right now.
Adams hit .250 against the Twins this year. 1 home run, couple of RBIs. Gibson's 0-2 delivery to him will be outside. Bert Blyleven, the former great pitcher, Twins broadcaster, was telling me before the game, he said Gibson's got a pretty good slider, especially to right-handers, but he doesn't trust it. So that's why he throws a changeup more often. And Bert thought if he could ever start trusting that slider, it would be a great addition as an out pitch for him. It'll be taken inside, and the count goes to 2-2.
On backup sliders and mistake sliders, if you're not convicted in throwing it, leave it on the plate. It can go a long way. So, especially against a powerhouse offense like this, he has the Orioles really off balance going back and forward because of the change up and that two-seam fastball. So he's sticking with that plan right now. Early on in the ball game, he showed that slider a little bit more consistently, but settling into the fastball change combination.
He's got a 3-2 count with 2 down on Adam Jones. And the full count delivery is fouled off.
Take a look at Kyle Gibson, what he's flipping up to righties this season. It's 57% fastball, breaking ball 29% of the time. What is that slider to the righties, and the change 14%.
He was a first round selection, 22 overall, by the Twins in 09 out of the University of Missouri. First full season in the majors was last year. Again, there'll be a 3-2, 7th pitch of the at bat. Jones in the air, center field. Buxton will come on, and he will put it away. These two pitchers are really going at it. Again, side retired in order. Orioles remain up by 1. Their number 1 prospect. Another good outing, a run on 3 hits over 6, got the win. Gardner and McCann had home runs in the first inning. Francisco Lindor for Cleveland hit for the cycle in that one. 24 games this year, a Rays starter has not yielded a run. That is the most in the majors. The Dodgers are second. And David Price is getting it done. First pitcher in Blue Jays history to allow 3 runs or fewer with 6 or more strikeouts in each of his first starts for the team. And that deal for the Jays right now looking to be the big deal that was made to this point.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to shut down number 1 starter. That just lifts everybody's confidence.
1-0 delivery on the way to Escobar, and then it'll skip through to the backstop. 70 pitches thrown by Chris Tillman as we go to the 6th inning. Escobar, number 9 in the order, struck out his first time up. And he will take the pitch up high for a ball. So a 3-0 count. Tillman's issued only 1 walk, and that came back in the first inning to Dozier. .30 pitch taking all the way. Escobar switch hitter, 237 right, 256 from the left side. 2 of his 5 home runs hit from this side of the plate. Lineup loaded with righties. Ball will be fouled back. So Tillman comes back on him. Chris has averaged 5 2/3 innings in the starts he's had this year. This is his 23rd start. 207 innings last year, 130 so far this year. Lifted to the gap. That's going to fall in for a base hit. Adam Jones will try and cut it off. He does. Bobbles, so there's no play at second base. I think he wanted to try and hustle that in. Thought he might have a chance.
He was thinking about gunning him down at second for sure. I don't know if he got his glove in a good position. He's trying to get around that. Might have been easier just to backhand and stay through that ball. You can see a shortstop or third baseman do. And of course, Adam Jones loves to act like a shortstop out there in center field, but couldn't quite get the glove in the right position. Escobar on second base with his 20th double of the year.
So now in a 1-0 ball game, that's just the second hit picked up in the game for the Twins. Buxton, and that'll be a foul ball. And Wieters did not have a chance to pick that up and then try and make a play on it. Went directly over his head. Though Buxton trying to move the runner over to third base. Interesting. It was bunting for a sacrifice here in this situation.
Yeah, Buxton laid down a bunt in yesterday's ball game. A really nice bunt. And here, you know, a hitter with great speed, they can lay down a sacrifice bunt and still put a lot of pressure on. It's not an easy out by any means.
Tillman will look to scope and got him. Whoa! Was that close? He was flying down the line. Molitor's up. He wants to look at it. He's asking his video team to take a look on that play at first base. Escobar goes over to third. We'll see whether or not he wants to challenge on the call by Chris Conroy at first.
Tillman, if he would have looked at third base, he would have had no chance at Buxton. Fortunately, he just comes up firing to first, and it is a bang play. Scoping Buxton's feet, they look like they hit right at the same time, touching first base.
Molitor is still waiting for an up or down sign on whether to challenge here. Boy, the pressure really is on the video crews for these teams. You got 30 seconds under the rules to ask. We haven't seen it enforced at all. And when you got to play this close, they're trying to look at every angle.
Yeah, it looked like Scope got his foot down.
And they are. They're going to challenge.
Interesting.
Well, close ball game, 6th inning. This may be the only real challenge. You go, what the heck?
I think when you're down, you have to take a chance.
Yeah. And we've seen, as this has worked all year, if there's something else you want the umpires to look at, I haven't yet seen a crew say no to a manager who comes out and asks.
I know. They're not enforcing that one at all.
So even if you don't have your challenge, you can ask for an umpire review.
You see Scope leading with the heel, and then he pushes the top of that foot down just before Buxton gets there.
Rule on those, ball has to be to the back of the glove to have the player covering first be in possession of it. So New York taking a look at this one. Obviously a big call. If the call stands as an out, sacrifice runner at third, one out. If it is reverse, first and third, nobody out.
Yeah, you need to get this out for sure. Tillman coming up, throwing. Buxton just flying down the line. Man.
Looked like he might have had his foot over the bag before the ball got there, but did he get it down on the bag?
Right.
No,
the top of the bag instead of that front.
You would think this would be one of those where there's not clear evidence that the call was wrong, so the call would stand, but we'll see. He's out. So the call does stand. 1-4 on the putout, the sacrifice, and the Twins get the potential tying run to third base with one away here in the 6th inning. Buxton congratulated. He got the bunt down, got the job done.
And the Orioles are going to play the infield in.
This tight ball game, they're going to try and prevent the Twins from getting it tied up here. And here's Dozier. Dozier has grounded out, and he has drawn a walk. And Dozier will take the pitch up high for a ball. Dozier, just a .223 hitter with runners in scoring position. Let's see what he does with this one. He's given the advantage with the infield drawn in. 1-0 count. And trying to put the ball in the air. He fouls it back. 1-1.
Tillman riding that fastball right up to the top. Dozier, a very good high ball hitter, so you better be careful. Mix it up a little bit. Left side of the Orioles infield, step or two deeper. Right side up tight on the grass. See Tillman first 2 pitches up over the top of the zone.
1 ball, 1 strike delivery on the way. Dozier ground ball. That's going to be a base hit. With a drawn in infield, Dozier gets the RBI, and this game is tied. It is a 1-1 ball game on a soft single up the middle.
The sacrifice bunt works for the Twins. Ability to manufacture after a leadoff double. Dozier finding a hole up the middle to draw in infield, so they can't maximize their range. Makes its way to the outfield grass, and we have a tie ball game.
So 1-1. Both managers managing a tight ball game here. And Joe Mauer. Mauer is flied out and singled. Runner at first base. Dozier back to the bag with 1 down. Now, Tillman will keep an eye on Dozier, who has picked up 10 stolen bases in 14 chances. Runners against Chris, there are very few of them. 3 out of 4 stolen bases. Mauer will take the pitch in there for a strike.
Well, Dozier only the 10 stolen bases this year. Last year 21, so he certainly knows how to steal a base. We know crucial time in the ball game is when he'll be thinking about taking advantage of that.
Twins now with 3 hits, and they've gotten the run in. Mauer had his hit in the first inning. 0-1 delivery to him, and fouls that one off the other way. And an 0-2 count. For Joe Mauer, he's done well against the Orioles over the years. .338 with 6 home runs, lifetime batting average. 2 of those home runs have been hit here at Camden Yards. 3 batting titles to his credit, lots of extra base hits. And of course, the face of this franchise for the Twins for a decade. 0-2 delivery on the way, and Mauer going for the long ball right there, swings through it.
Good fastball. A couple of Chris Tillman's best fastballs in this ball game. 93, 92 miles an hour here to get Mauer, and it is attack. One of the best hitters in the game. And he stays aggressive on him, not give him a chance. We'll see something slower. Big second out there for Tillman.
6 strikeouts for Chris in the game. 2 down, runner at first. Sano up. He has struck out, flied out. Infield moved around on him, and the pitch will be up and in. Sano coming out of the minors, where he played over 400 games, almost 450. He hit .278 overall in the minors, 105 home runs, 445 games, so power. And he's shown it here. 1-0 delivery, and that one is going to be bounced.
And that power he displayed in the minor leagues was when he was a teenager primarily. He's only 21 years old.
Yeah.
A lot of times young hitters, their power doesn't start maturing until they get up over 1,000 at bats at the major league level. He's ready to rock and roll.
2-0 count. And Sano puts that one in the air, right center field. Adam Jones will put it away for the out. Twins come back to tie it up. They get a run on 2 hits, RBI by Dozier, 1-1. Birdland, the site on this Saturday night ball game tied at 1-1. And our Special Olympic star, Jessie's back there. Chris Davis is her favorite player. With the big sign, "I love Chris Davis," so she gets a chance after throwing out the first pitch to him to watch him take his at-bat here. He has walked and grounded out. Gibson's delivery on the way, and that'll be outside for a ball. Davis, Wieters, and Scope coming up for the Orioles in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Shift on, but shortstop still on the shortstop side of the bag here, and he went around on that one. Couldn't stay off the high heat. 1-1.
They do some different things against Davis at times. Right here, crucial part of the ball game, so they got Plouffe in to respect the bunt, keeping Escobar on that shortstop side of second base.
And jammed him with a real good pitch, and a 1-ball, 2-strike count.
So here you go, 2 strikes. The shift is on. Gibson audibles. Plouffe goes out to second base position. Dozier slides over closer to Mauer.
1-2. Chris will take it. Twins have added to their bullpen after the ball game last night. The announcement that they had traded Milwaukee left-hander Neil Kotz has now joined the ball club. They needed some help in the middle. The relief work. Player to be named later in the deal going the other way. Pitch is taken up high. So again, a full count. 3-2 on Davis leading off the inning. Orioles have had the leadoff man on in the first, and that has been it. Both of these pitchers have had a bit of a problem getting leadoff batters out, but not in this ball game. 3-2 delivery, and does here. Leadoff walk. Let's see what the Orioles can do with that one. Second walk by Gibson. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles.
Hey, when you got your trucker hat, did you get the pom-poms?
I did not get the pom-poms.
I didn't either.
No. I think we're going to have to inquire about that. Can't have a hat without pom-poms. Runner on at first base, and the pitch down low to Wieters. Popped out, called out on strikes. These Twins have held the Orioles to 3 runs or less 5 straight games. That's how good their pitching has been against the O's. Ground ball, diving, can't get it. Dozier. Hunter will hustle in to hold the runner at second base, and Wieters is on with a base hit. 2 on and nobody out.
Matt Wieters taking advantage of that hole over there after a great at bat by Chris Davis. Got one thing in his mind. He hooks it in there. The changeup that he's got to reach out and catch out in front for the base hit. He'll start to put a little pressure on now.
So here's a scoring opportunity. Jonathan Scope is coming up. A double and a strikeout. Defense, the infield looking into the dugout for the Twins. Plouffe is going to play on the grass at third. Mauer in front of the runner at first. And Jonathan Scope stands in with nobody out and 2 on. Gibson with a long look back. Does square, does drop it. It's a beauty. Got to go in a hurry. Nice play by Gibson to get rid of that. But a great bunt by Jonathan Scope.
Well, it really was. Buck Showalter had a talk with his team about bunting, and a lot of times hitters get a little tied up when they have to square around. So Jonathan Scope bunts like a base hit there and executes it perfectly. Get the bat out in front, creates the angle. Ball gets softened by that dirt out in front of home plate. Gibson ends up making a really nice play on a really good bunt.
So now the Orioles have 2 in scoring position with only 1 away. Sacrifice picked up by Jonathan Scope creates the opportunity for the Orioles. That's his first sacrifice of the year. The intentional pass will be given to Clevenger, who's got a single and his flied out. So they're going to create the force at any base with Hardy waiting on deck. So Paul Molitor again having to strategize here in this 1-1 ball game in the 6th inning. Bullpen getting active as well for the Twins.
The managers, they play out the scenarios. What's going to happen? Take a look at Feen and Dunsing on the Twins bullpen, and Buck Showalter had to believe that if he worked a sacrifice bunt, that they were going to walk Clevenger just for the double play opportunity. I mean, you got a sinker baller on the mound. That's showing great command of that. So Paul Molitor says, put him on. We got our double play specialist on the hill. He's hoping J.J. Hardy won't break out of his little downtime at the plate here in this situation.
Davis a walk. Wieters a single. The intentional pass to Clevenger. Loaded him up. J.J. Hardy is grounded out, and he has drawn a walk. Game is tied. Orioles are 1 for 6 with runners in scoring position in the ball game. And a big moment. Gibson working out of the stretch. Down to third. Foul ball by just that much. Gabe Morales, or Eric Cooper rather, right on the line.
J.J. aggressive on the first two-seamer, catching it out in front, and it is just an inch or two. Foul.
Runners head back, and a 1-strike count on Hardy. J.J. 2 for 4 with the bases loaded this year. Mauer's playing in front of the runner at first. Ground ball to him goes to the plate. Everybody else back at double play depth. Here's the 0-1 delivery. Hardy takes, and the pitch is inside.
Good take. That's kind of the pattern he's been following. If he doesn't start you off with a changeup, start you off with a fastball instead, he'll back it up with the change, or vice versa. 20% changeups in this ball game.
Gibson, the 1-1 delivery. Hardy will take it, and it's down low. 2-1.
Jonathan Scope right in. Scott Coolbaugh's ear about what to look for in these type of situations. Coolbaugh played in the big leagues. Been around the big league atmosphere a number of years.
2-1 down the line and right. That'll end up foul and into the seats. Learning lessons that go on continually. Out to the mound to be sure now. Suzuki with Gibson on what they want to throw with a 2-2 count.
Well, you know what else Coolbaugh could be talking to Jonathan Scope about? Maybe Jonathan decided to bunt on his own. And then maybe Coolbaugh saying, hey, listen, this is what happens in these type of situations. You got to understand that as a hitter. If you lay down a bunt, they're going to load the bases and pitch for that double play ground ball. You got a sinker baller on the hill, so maybe that could be a learning experience if indeed Buck Showalter did not put that bunt on.
Sacks are full. 2-2 delivery to Hardy. Hardy down to third again. Again foul underneath the feet of Chris Davis. Well, a battle here. Pretty efficient in this ball game. 94 thrown. Orioles have worked him up to 18 here in the inning and only 1 out. Best arm in the outfield. Rosario in left. 2-2. Delivery on the way by Gibson. Good take by Hardy and a full count.
Gibson has been making some quality pitches. I will say that. Not a lot of mistakes on the plate. Here pitching J.J. Hardy, very tough with the bases loaded.
Bill Allen pitching coach.
J.J. working it to full here. Nice at bat by Hardy.
3-2, 1 out. With the sacks full, here's the full count pitch and a third ground ball down the third baseline in foul territory.
He was on that changeup. JJ's hooked a couple of them down that left field line. Just foul. JJ out in front. Definitely have to protect. Possibly expand the zone a little bit. Hope that he bounces one or makes a mistake on the plate.
Davis a walk, Wieters a single. Intentional pass, Clevenger. Second time, 3-2. Hardy in the air to right field. Torrey, Hunter back, makes the catch. Runner tags Davis. He'll score. Throw. There is none. Sacrifice fly by J.J. Hardy, and the Orioles have a 2-1 lead.
Boy, what an at bat by J.J. Hardy. Take a look at how Gibson worked him. Two-seamer in, backs it up with the changeup in off the plate, and then how about the slider to get in your head? Another fastball down the middle, but changeup there, pulled foul. Another two-seam fastball and changeup, pulled foul. Either Hardy or Gibson giving in. Finally, Hardy able to execute the sacrifice fly to give the Orioles the lead. This after Chris Davis started this inning off with a big base on balls.
8-pitch at bat. And the Orioles on top. Now runners at first and second and 2 down. Urrutia. The RBI double that came in the second inning. The Twins tied it up in the 6th inning on a Dozier single that brought in Escobar, who had a leadoff double. Now the Orioles in the bottom half of the 6th have gone back on top 2-1, and there's Hardy, who gets his 32nd run batted in. Urrutia grounded out, his second time up. Everybody back now with 2 down. 0-1, half a swing. Fouled off on the inside part of the plate.
Kind of non-committal on that swing right there, and finds himself behind 0-2. So he's got to do some battling himself. Take a look at runners in scoring position. Twins 1 for 3 O's. Just 1 for 6 tonight.
Urrutia hit .292, 10 home runs, and 51 RBIs with the Tides in Norfolk. 107 games there this year. 0-2 delivery on the way, and that's going to be inside. Suzuki with a nice stop.
That sure was a big time stop there. There's a slider down and in to Urrutia. Better keep this one in front of you. You're going to have some problems. Ball gets spiked, almost catches Urrutia on the toe, but see how he slides over there and gets the whole body in front of that.
Gibson has thrown one wild pitch in the game. Runners off first and second base. 1-2 pitch on the way. Ground ball to the hole. That's going to be a base hit. Hunter's going to be up with it. Runner held at third. Into Mauer, the cutoff man, and the Orioles load him up again. Matt Wieters stopping at third base. Clevenger down at second. Urrutia's got a 2 for 3 ball game, and they're loaded.
Another good at bat after falling behind. He stays on the changeup. Not a terrible pitch down at the bottom of the zone, but the long arms able to reach out, get the good part of the bat on it, just past the diving Dozier. Wieters over to third as Torrey Hunter holds him.
And that will be it for the starter. Now Gibson is going to come out of there. Does not have a win in his last 6 and is not going to get one here.
Orioles, and he had his stuff working tonight. Only 2 earned runs, 54% fastballs, had the 2-seamer working, 19% breaking balls. That was a slider. But look at the changeup number. 27% of the time he was executing that pitch perfectly. Now it's time for a little relief for your car too. Visit Jiffy Lube for regular oil changes and help prevent damage and wear to your engine. Jiffy Lube, drive in today. Well, Casey Fiend out of the Twins bullpen, very solid year. 54% fastballs, breaking ball 46% of the time. Has a nice little cutter to go along with his fastball. 3.57 earned run average, 3 wins, 26 punchouts, just 4 walks in 45 and a third innings. He's all over the dish with all of his pitches, holding opponents to a 243 batting average as a righty, so just 206. Lefty's way up to 296.
So the Orioles have loaded the bases and a chance to put a little distance between themselves and the Twins here in the 6th inning. 1 run in, sacks are full. Manny Machado, a base hit. He is 1 for 3 in the game. Fiend's delivery to him. Machado has picked up a home run off Fiend. He is 2 for 4 with the 1 long ball. And gets a chance here with the bases loaded. Wieters, the lead runner. Clevenger at second base. Urrutia is on at first. And a foul ball off the end of the bat. And an 0-2 count.
Take a look at Manny Machado this season with runners in scoring position. Started off kind of slow. Started to increase his batting average, and obviously the production in May. But June, a monster month. 480, 22 RBIs. And here in August, 455. So he's red hot again. 62 RBI on the year, only trailing Davis and Jones.
Overall number 304 in these situations this year. 0-2 count. Fiend ready. Pitch will be outside. Fiend worked in the ballgame last night, had a solid inning as he retired the side in order. Casey Fiend this year, 3 2/3 innings worked against the Orioles. He's given up 2 runs on 2 hits. Veteran here with a 1-ball 2-strike count. The Orioles have the 2-1 lead. 1-2 delivery on the way. Will miss down low. 2-2.
Manny Machado's had some of the best at bats you're going to see, and he's been able to stay consistent all year long. Very impressive year for Machado. Not only his batting average and his production, but being moved to the top of the order, just 23 years old and showing great composure.
Way up. So Fiend nowhere to put him, and a 3-ball 2-strike count. Runners will go. 3-2 delivery. Machado swings and misses. So Fiend comes on and gets a big strikeout. The Orioles on a sac fly by J.J. Hardy scoring Davis have taken the lead 2-1. the Maryland Fire Chiefs and Maryland State Firemen's Associations. Email mdfirevolunteer@gmail.com to volunteer with your local fire, rescue, and EMS. And by PNC for the achiever in you. Gary Thorne, Mike Bordick with you on this great Saturday night. J.J. Hardy picking up the sacrifice fly, and the Orioles back on top 2-1.
J.J. the great at bat. I think an inspiring performance here. You can really tell he's kind of beaten up right now, but he certainly wants to be on the field with his team as they make this push. Trying to make it back to the postseason again.
Tillman has gone the distance for the Orioles. He has walked 1 and struck out 6. Only 3 hits for the Twins. Singles, Mauer, and Dozier. Double by Escobar. Dozier the RBI and the base hit. Here is Plouffe, who will take the pitch for a strike. 1-1. Gibson ends up with a couple of runs on the 6 hits with 3 walks, 1 intentional, 2 strikeouts. 1-1 delivery on the way, and it'll miss outside. A 2-ball, 1 strike count.
I think the one real good sign about Chris Tillman, not only the fact that he's had this recent success and he's obviously building on that, but the fact that he's all around the plate. Every pitch is a competitive pitch. And, you know, there are some starts where, you know, he just kind of loses it a little bit. The command of all of his pitches. Fastball gets up and out of the zone, can't command it. He spikes the breaking ball and just has to file some pitches at time. But here in this ball game, he's got command of everything, and he is all around the plate.
2-ball, 2-strike delivery on the way to Plouffe, who chased one upstairs, down the line, Parra over, looking, and foul. Whoa. That ball just kept going, and it was very close to the fair pull down there. Off the bat, it looked like an innocent foul ball or fly ball. Yeah,
off the bat. I mean, the pitch is up and away, and he stayed on it, and it looked like it was just going to be a true foul ball. But as Plouffe started running, you can tell how close it was there. Just 10 feet or so.
Fouls the next one off as well. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Plouffe has had home run power this year, 18. Second most he's ever had in a season. He had 24 back in 2012. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Tillman's delivery to him, and he puts it way up in the air to left field. Rudy has got room and makes the catch. So Plouffe gave a couple of baseballs a ride on that one.
He did the changeup that he just missed, getting under it.
On Saturday, September 12th, the Orioles take on the Royals. Special 1:05 afternoon matinee, and the first 20,000 fans 15 and over get This Is Birdland, the Orioles knit scarf. Tickets for the Saturday afternoon game can be had at Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD.
Take a look at Tillman. Oh boy, out of the hand. It's one of those ones where you just want to run up there and get it before it gets across the plate. We made a mistake with that changeup. Fortunately, staying in the park.
Here's Rosario, 1 down, 7th inning. Rosario is grounded out, struck out. Eddie Rosario will be followed by Hunter, and the pitch will be taken up high. Rookie Rosario's having a real fine introduction to the majors out of Puerto Rico. He leads major league rookies with outfield assists 11. Real good arm in the outfield. 2-0 pitch on the way, and that's taken away. And the count goes to 3-0 at the 95 pitch mark. Orioles have not had any bullpen action to this point in this 2-1 ball game. 3-0. Rosario's taking that, not close. So the second walk and the first one since the first inning puts the potential tying run on. As promised earlier in the game, we selected the Data Strong fan photo of the game. Tweet your strongest fan photo to O's Couch Cam, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. Nice shot. Looking out towards the scoreboard flags. So that'll bring Hunter to the plate. Hunter is popped out and grounded out 0 for 2 in the game, 1 for 8 in the series for Torrey Hunter. Hunter hitting just 118 in the month of August. It was his base running that contributed last night to the Twins comeback win, and Tillman now struggling with the strike zone will get a visit from his battery mate.
Yeah, so Matt Wieters caught Chris Tillman more than anybody. Be recognizing something going on with his mechanics, maybe just saying, hey, take a little breather, don't let this one get away from you. You've been great the whole ball game. Stay in the zone. You do not want Torrey Hunter to take advantage of a mistake here. Torrey's struggling a little bit. You have to execute your pitches. Tillman or Wieters just kind of calming him down a little.
1-0 delivery on the way. Taken. Of course, coming off a 7-inning performance, the win against Oakland with the fine 2-run 3-hit ball game, and he's given up only 1 run on 3 hits so far in this one. Rosario, the runner at first, held by Davis. Hunter waiting on a 1-1. Will take it. It will miss. And a 2-ball 1-strike count. Brock heating up.
Rosario, pretty good speed over there at first base. We know that Tillman has been remarkable at holding runners here the past few seasons. Rosario, a rookie, 9 stolen bases for him already, so you cannot lose sight of him.
Butch Davis, their first base coach, went over before that throw over, had a word with a runner, if only to attract Orioles' attention, Tillman's in particular. 2-1 delivery, runner goes. He meant it. Base hit. Ooh, just skipped over that. Didn't hit him. Throw's going to come to third by Parra. Not in time. The hit and run was on, and that came very close to hitting Rosario, but he danced over it and ends up at third base on a Hunter base hit.
Well, classic hit and run count, 2-1. Rosario goes, turns and looks. Good thing he did, or that would have clipped him in the ankle. Good speed. That is a big belly turn, though, and it gave Parra a shot at him. Very strong throw, and Rosario just able to get the hand in there. This is a bullet. Staying about a foot off the ground. 1 hop. Right to Machado. Wow, what a cannon.
So let's see how the Orioles are going to play this. Suzuki is up. He is flied out and grounded out. There's only 1 away. First and third. Rosario's got all that speed at third base. Orioles will set up looking for the double play. Suzuki's been the big RBI man against the Orioles this year. He's driven in 4. And he's got a 5-game hit streak. 0 for 2 tonight. Throw over, fake, and look back. Boy, we haven't seen that for a long time.
Well, they banned the third to first move. So Tillman steps off, fakes to first, and tries to backdoor Rosario at third. I think that's a pretty heady play there. You got a young player at third base.
It's worth a try.
Heck yeah.
1 away. Another big moment here. Lots of them in a tight ball game showing up. Tillman with the delivery. Suzuki bunting. It's a squeeze. It's a sacrifice that's good. A suicide squeeze, or at least it was good enough for Rosario to take off as soon as it got laid down, and this ball game is tied at 2-2.
So the Minnesota Twins have been executing the small ball perfectly, manufacturing both of their runs here. Suzuki's been swinging the bat great. Lays down a perfect bunt, score the tying run once again.
Well, they've come back to tie it up. Hunter moves down to second base, and that's going to be it for Tillman. Ooh, that's a tough one. Tillman's going to come out of there and not have a chance to win this ball game, as the score is 2-2, and he's responsible for the runner on at second base.
Going 6 2/3, gave up a couple earned runs, but 70% fastballs, breaking ball 19% of the time, the change 11%, had everything working, great command of all of his pitching, and now Brad Brock coming out of the Orioles bullpen. Last 18 appearances, .36 earned run average, holding opponents just a .183 batting average, 27 punch outs for Brad Brock, and he is in the high leverage situations for Buck Showalter. Fastball 63% of the time, has a good breaking ball and great change. 2.43 earned run average, picked up 4 wins, a save on the year, 69 punch outs, 24 walks. Look at a on the batting average, just 198 on the season. Lefties just 171.
Escobar with a runner at second and 2 down. And the pitch is a ball. Escobar delivered a double leading off the 6th, came around to score. Tied the ball game up then at 1-1. Now we're tied at 2-2, and again costly walk. Rosario's 1-out walk, and then the manufacturing of a run on the hit and run by Hunter and the squeeze play by Suzuki. And Brock's delivery is going to miss outside for a ball. Orioles bullpen in this series, they've given up 11 runs in 7 innings. Now you got that big blowout game included. Had a 3-1 lead on Friday. The bullpen could not keep with 3 runs allowed in the 8th. 2-0 count, 2 down, and that's going to be outside. Leadoff batter, the rookie Buxton, is waiting on deck.
Yeah, that first game against the Twins, Buck had to have a couple guys, take the heat. McGill ended up pitching 5 innings.
Pitch out, intentional pass.
Garcia and T.J. McFarland took the lumps there, giving up the 9 runs. And so Buck rested the bullpen, but when you know it, everything lined up perfectly for an Orioles win. And Darren O'Day, uncharacteristically, giving up 3 runs. They weren't hard hit by any means, and unfortunately, as Buck say, baseball gods weren't looking down on O'Day and the Orioles last night. The bullpen's been fabulous all year long.
Here is Buxton, now the leadoff batter. Runners on at first and second base with 2 out. And the rookie will take it for a strike. He has struck out, flied out, and had a sacrifice. This is a Paul Molitor ball game you're seeing right here. Molitor's the old school baseball about putting runs together, knows how to do it, execute.
Absolutely.
Do little things, and they've done them. That ball's going to be a base hit into left field and will score the run. Hunter will come around. No chance for Urrutia. He'll go into third. And the single by Buxton, an RBI, and the Twins are on top 3-2. Our Lexus of Towson drive of the game.
Buxton getting on a Brad Brock offering here, just dropping the head on the heater. Torrey Hunter able to score the go-ahead run, and once again the Twins answering the bell late in the ball game to take the lead.
Our Lexus of Towson drive of the game. They are the area's #1 volume Lexus dealer, 5 years running. See why. LexusofTowson.com. First and second, and here's Dozier. Dozier, an RBI, came in the 6th inning on a single. And we'll take the pitch down low for a ball. That run will be charged to Tillman. So he's on the losing side of the game for the moment, with the 3 runs on 4 hits over 6 2/3 innings. And Dozier's got a shot with Escobar and Buxton on second and first. Good speed all around, and that'll be fouled back off Wieters.
Well, I think Chris Tillman threw a great game. Very impressive with his command of all of his pitches. Battled, got deep into a ball game once again. I just think when the opportunities brought themselves up, Paul Molitor took advantage of them with the situational baseball. Nice bunt by Suzuki.
He's just doing things you don't see much anymore.
No,
managers do. You don't play those kind of games. Popped up first base side, Davis. And Chris has got it for the out. But a couple of runs in, and they did it on a walk, a couple of walks and 2 hits. Our Honda do-ups, Parra, Jones, and Davis, as it's 7th inning stretch time at the yard. in the drive for the cure to ALS, and the Miami Marlins are doing the challenging.
We're being challenged by the Cincinnati Reds, Todd Frazier, and we're going to dump it on the Orioles, Adam Jones.
There's A. Fernandez there. Here's the ice challenge. The bullpen catcher, Jet Ruiz, is the Orioles spokesman for this initiative. Baltimore walked to defeat ALS is October 3rd at Rash Field in the Inner Harbor. And you can get information at webalsa.org/Baltimore. The Ice Bucket Challenge, donations taken. Major League Baseball has been involved in this for a couple of years now. And there is the bullpen catcher who's heading it up for the Orioles.
Jet Ruiz, very nice. And always great to bring awareness to ALS. And that Ice Bucket Challenge has really taken hold, hasn't it? And there's your dress.
It's not my dress. Don't be laying that on me now.
The one we were talking about?
Yeah, that is. That's the lady who's made the Hawaiian T-shirt dress, selected by the Bird to do a little dancing on the roof. How about that? Now the Orioles find themselves down again, as has happened in this series with these Twins who just keep coming back. Twins in the 6th inning got a run on 2 hits, and in the 7th inning get 2 runs on 2 hits, leave a couple on base. They have put up 2 sacrifices in the last 2 innings, one a squeeze sacrifice for an RBI. They have pushed the right buttons, Paul Molitor has, to get the lead. So the Orioles again asked to battle back here. Parra has gone 0 for 2 and has a sacrifice in the ball game. Trevor May warming up.
Well, it's been a few days since the Orioles have had a walk-off win. Of course, 3 walk-offs on this homestand. So it'll be nice to see him work a nice comeback here. The Orioles need it.
0-1 delivery on the way, all the way to the backstop. Comes right back to Suzuki. And a 1-ball, 1-strike count on Parra. Jones and Davis to follow, bottom half of the 7th inning. Bean came on to get the strikeout of Machado to end the 6th. He now has got a chance to be the winning pitcher in this ball game. 1-ball, 1-strike delivery on the way, down to first and foul. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count on Parra. 3 runs on 5 hits for the Twins. A couple of runs for the Orioles on the 6 hits they have in the ball game. Orioles have stranded 8. Now the Twins have left 5. 1-2 on Parra. Straight up D against him. And he'll go to short. Escobar. Parra is retired. Well, your favorite Orioles are back with their favorite dogs and cats. The 16 Oriole Pet Calendar, proceeds benefit the Barks Baltimore Animal Rescue and Care Shelter. It's a 16-month calendar. They're available now at Oriole Park, at the official Orioles team store in York, PA. And you can get yours at Orioles.com/pet calendar. One away. Adam Jones 0 for 3 in the ball game, 2 for 10 in the series. Casey Fiend delivers to him, and it'll be down low for a ball. One 0 count. Jones to center. Buxton is there. 2 down. Twins bullpen getting the job done for them. Fiend gets 2 outs here in the 7th, retiring the first 3 batters that he has faced. Their bullpen is ranked 10th in ERA and 12th in hits per 9 innings, but you wouldn't know it in this series so far. It's Chris Davis. Full shift put on immediately Davis walked in the 6th inning. Leading off would come around to score on the Hardy sac fly. Chris on a check swing, went around. It's a strike.
Well, Fiend, tougher time against left-handers this year. Take a look at Chris Davis's power zone. The red is where he makes the hardest, most consistent contact. So pitchers want to stay obviously away from the middle, but he's got orange that covers up the whole lower third.
In the air to left field. Rosario. Quick inning. 1, 2, 3. Orioles are retired. 7 complete here at Camden Yards. The Twins are up by 1. In this 4-game set, Kevin Gausman on the mound against Mike Pelfrey. Coverage on MASN 1 o'clock O's Extra presented by Southwest, followed by our game coverage at 1:30. All the access you need right here on MASN.
Let's take a look at tomorrow's starters. Pelfrey search of his 7th win to go along with 7 losses. 3.62 earned run average. Last start 5 1/3. He's got a no decision. But Gausman, he's been pitching very well here in his home park. June 28th, that 1.67 earned run average, and I think the fact that he's starting to establish himself as a starter here at the major league level, he's establishing a routine. He's been throwing the ball very well.
Joe Mauer will lead it off. Brad Brock stays on in relief, having come on in the 7th inning for Chris Tillman. And Mauer takes it for a strike. He has a base hit, has flied out, and has struck out. For Mauer in the series, 3 hits, 11 at bats. Brad Brock now trying to keep the Twins right where they are. Orioles got 2 at bats left to pick up a victory in this ball game. Keep in mind, Twins have won all 5 this year and have won the last 6 they've played against the Orioles. 1 ball, 1 strike count. And Mauer fouls it off. Well, a change in tenure in Major League Baseball. In our notebook, Chase Utley, of course, went from the Phillies, where he had played all his games, to the Dodgers. He played last night. He was the most tenured ball player. Now, David Wright with the Mets, Ryan Howard, Phillies, Yadier Molina with the Cardinals, and Joe Mauer with the Twins are the 4 most tenured ball players with their clubs. Utley had been number 1. And after all those rumors that Utley was going to stay with the Phillies, as soon as those stories ran for about a week, he's gone to the Dodgers.
He gone. Yeah. Not easy nowadays, and you don't see it where players really stay with the team that signed them. And you better be good and you better be consistent. And most of those guys on that list have. Of course, Mauer, MVP, 1st-round pick.
Mauer, base hit. That's going to go into the corner. Urrutia will chase it down. Joe Mauer. Urrutia had trouble with it, but will still stay. Mauer will at second base. A big leadoff double here in the 8th inning in a 1-run ball game.
Take a look at the pitch here. Fastball. Great location, but this is why Mauer is a professional hitter. I mean, that pitch is tough. Not many hitters in the game can drive it. He picks it up, his 22nd double of the year.
So Mauer's on at second base. And a chance to add a run. Nobody out here in the 8th inning. They've only had the leadoff man on twice. The other time was an Escobar double in the 6th inning. And they scored. Pitch away and did not go. Sano 0 for 3 in the ball game, 3 for 11 in the series. Power hitter. Brad Brock surrendering his second hit since coming on in relief. One ball, one strike count on a 95 heater.
Pretty aggressive cut on that 95-mile-an-hour fastball, but it was up at the top of the strike zone, so no great power in the lower third, middle of the plate.
1-1 delivery by Brock and a big cut. And another one at 94 and a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Each team now with 6 hits in the ball game. Twins have gone 2 for 5 with runners in scoring position. The Orioles 2 for 8. Foul back into the screen. Count stays at a ball and 2 strikes. A tough Twins ball club. 2 games out of the wild card coming in. The Orioles tied with Texas, a half game out of a wild card spot. Molitor trying to celebrate his 59th birthday with a win. 1-2 delivery on the way, and that's going to be up and away.
Mattis out in the Orioles bullpen. And Paul Molitor, I think a lot of people in the game thought he would be a great manager, but he got into the organization at the minor league level. Some player development, some spots in the big leagues. He was a hitting coach for a little bit, and then a bench coach for Ron Gardenhire as he was being groomed to take over the managerial role. But he knows his personnel. He knows everybody in the organization. So he's got his hand on it, and he's made an impact. A lot of these young players that are doing good things at the major league level, had to go through Paul Molitor in the minor leagues.
Fouled away. Well, Molitor's the homegrown story. He's from St. Paul, Minnesota. That's where he grew up. He went to the University of Minnesota, where he played college baseball, played a lot with the Brew Crew, and then of course the Minnesota Twins, and now they're managers. So it's a great hometown story for Molitor in Minnesota and Minneapolis. 3-ball, 2-strike count. Runner off second, Mauer. And fouls that one back into the screen.
Sano fouling off some tough pitches from Brad Brock.
Crunch time in this one. 35,301. 35,301. Real good crowd on this Saturday night. Last game of the homestand tomorrow afternoon. Looks like it'll be a beautiful weather day. 3-2 delivery taken, and he's on. 2 on, nobody out. Second walk, one intentional by Brock. Follow the Orioles wherever you are. MLB.com at bat, #1 app for live baseball. At bat, up to the moment, at any moment, in-game highlights, live look-ins, StatCast, and more. MLB.com at bat for your telephone or tablet. Here is Plouffe, and 0 for 3 in the ball game. 2 on, Mauer, Sano, and Plouffe will put it down the line in right. Parra was way over to center. He won't get there. Davis tries to, but it's in the seats, and it's a strike.
Once again, the bottom of the order actually doing most of the damage for this team. We talked about the 7, 8, 9. It's been this group of Rosario, Hunter, Suzuki, and Escobar that have been picking this offense up. Tonight, they've scored 3 runs, got some hits,
and threatening for more outside. It's a busy day around baseball on this Saturday. A lot of honorees. The Yankees retired Jorge Posada's number today. and a plaque in Monument Park. 20th Yankee player to have his number retired. Andy Pettitte will have his number retired tomorrow. Here's the 1-1 delivery on the way. Fouled again. The Reds have unveiled a statue today of their great RBI guy in the big red machine, Tony Perez, the Hall of Famer, outside the ballpark. They unveiled his statue today in Cincinnati. Craig Biggio threw out the first pitch in Houston and had a little speech for the crowd. First time since his induction into the Hall of Fame that he's had a chance to be before the home front. 1-2 pitch on the way, and on the inside corner, strike called. Plouffe doesn't agree. Brock gets the K.
Plouffe's been rung up a couple times, and he's had a little conversation with Mark Carlson here. The good fastball, 95 miles an hour, and received very well from Matt Wieters for strike 3.
And that will be it for Brad Brock. Rosario, the left-hander, due up. Brian Mattis has been warming up in the bullpen. Twins have the 3-2 lead.
He's been able to locate it well here recently. Breaking ball, the big curve, straight change 14% of the time. Numbers very impressive here. 2.25 earned run average, 49 punch outs, 18 walks and 40 innings of work. Opponent's hitting 208 overall. Righties 279, but the lefties just 145 off Mattis. Fly ball pitcher, 70% of his outs in the air. 62% of the runners that he's inherited have been stranded, 13 of 21.
And he's got 2 on here with Mauer at second base. Sano on at first. Only 1 out. And here's Rosario, who will take the pitch for a strike. Rosario drew a walk and scored in the 7th inning. Officially, he is 0 for 2 in the ball game. So Brian Mattis asked for asking. There's some strikes here and a couple of big outs. Here's the 0-1 delivery. And that one going to miss outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. In the bullpen now, the Orioles will get a right-hander up, Garcia, getting ready to go. Rosario has hit .241 off the lefties. 50 points lower than against right-handers. 1-1 delivery to him. Swing and a miss. Trevor May up for the 2nd time for the Twins. He wanted to hang in on that last pitch, but the body just didn't want to do it. Right. 1-2 delivery to him, working outside as he is off the plate in the batter's box. So a 2-ball, 2-strike count.
And Mattis has shown a great command of that big breaking ball and so tough on lefties.
Trying to stride into it, but that front foot sometimes wants to bail. And that one's going to miss outside. So the count goes to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Not what Brian had in mind. Does not want to put him on with 2 there already and move another runner up into scoring position. Three-two, and he got him to wave. Stayed out there, and Rosario goes down swinging, and that will be it for Mattis.
A good fastball here. He's trying to fill up that area down and away. Attacks it again and comes up with a big strikeout.
So Brian will work just a third of an inning in a specialty role here in this game. He gets the strikeout, still 2 on, but now there are 2 down for Torrey Hunter.
Fastball's been pretty good since coming back off the disabled list. 75% of the time he uses it. 94-mile-an-hour heater with pretty good movement. Breaking ball, the hard slider, 24% of the time. The occasional change. Earned run average got jacked up a little bit in his last outing, where he gave up a couple earned runs in 2 innings of work. So 503 right now, 11 punch-outs to 14 walks. Opponent's hitting 200. Fly ball pitcher right now, 55% of his outs in the air, and has given up 3 long balls. He has stranded all of the runners he's inherited, 4 of 4.
22-year-old out of Land O'Lakes, Florida. And here is Torrey Hunter, youngster against the veteran at the plate. Base hit, run scored for Hunter. Last time up, he'll take that one to left field. Urrutia coming on. A pitch and an out, and that's the inning. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors. 2 are left on base. We go to the bottom of the 8th of a 1-run Minnesota lead.
Rockies. Rosario checking it out, and that speed able to score uncontested and take the lead. The Twins offense and executing situational hitting. Sacrifice bunt by Buxton. Hunter with the hit and run gives the Twins the lead. Now Trevor May into the ball game. Fastball 61% of the time. Very good heater. 94 to 98 with that heater. Breaking ball has a curveball and the slider, and the change is a straight change. In 31 games, he's made 16 starts this year, but moved to the pen and his velocity's kicked up. The fly ball pitcher, 61% of his outs in the air, and giving up 9 home runs. Opponents hitting .285 off May.
So, youngsters of my own heart, no matter what the hour, no matter what the situation, it's always time for ice cream. And are they ever happy about that? All right, the Orioles trying to battle back here and get a comeback win. Ball game in which the Orioles took the lead in the second inning on the RBI double by Urrutia, 1-0. Tied up in the sixth inning. RBI single by Dozier. Orioles came right back, bottom of the sixth. Sac fly Hardy, 2-1. And then the Twins responded with 2 runs, 2 hits in the seventh inning. Suzuki with that bunt you saw in the RBI base hit by their rookie Buxton at the top of the order. Matt Wieters leading it off here in the bottom of the eighth inning. Wieters a base hit. He is 1 for 3. Oh, 1 pitch to him will be bounced 4 feet out in front of the plate. Even May had the smile on that one.
Suzuki picked that one clean, almost right in the strike zone.
1-1 pitch. May's got a 1-0 mark against the Orioles. Worked a couple of innings this year. No runs on 1 hit. Career record of 1-1. Starting pitcher turned to the bullpen this year. 16 starts beginning of the season for May. Strike taken at the knees. In fact, he made his first relief appearance of the season against the Orioles in July during that 3-game set in Minnesota, and had a scoreless 10th inning and got the win. 2-2 delivery by May. Wieters takes, and it's there.
Now Wieters doesn't like the call. A pretty good change up here. Kind of freezes Wieters. See the buckle. It works its way back to catch the edge of the plate. Wieters gets that foot down, but a little hip flinch. It sneaks in there for the first out.
Orioles have struck out only 4 times. Gibson had 2. Fiend had 1. Now May has 1. Breaking ball, a called strike. Jonathan Schoop. Schoop with a double. 1 for 2 and a sacrifice in the ball game. And a swing and a miss as he came back at 95. Zach Britton in the bullpen for the Orioles. In the 4-3 win the Twins got last night, their bullpen, Fiend, May, and Jepson, worked 3 innings, gave up nothing. That one will be fouled away. We've got Fiend and May so far appearing in this ball game. In the 15-2 run, Duffy went 7 2/3. Their starter, Octor, who has been sent down, had an inning and a third. Not a good cut. Play's got to be made, though, and it is. 2 strikeouts. Schoop retired.
Well, May has that full arsenal of being a starter, and they're just burying the curveball. Back-to-back Ks. Look at this curveball. Look at the knuckle curve getting on top. Throws it hard. Jonathan Schoop just wailing at it. Can't get a piece.
So Clevenger up 1 for 2 in an intentional pass. He scored in the second when he got a base hit. The pitch is going to miss for a ball. Oakland at home against the Rays tonight. 3rd inning ball game tied at 1. The Rays are another one of those teams we were talking about in a chase for the wild card. That ball off the glove should be a base hit. It will be. Didn't field his position, and as a result, the Orioles get a runner on here in the 8th with 2 down.
Well, this ball kind of checked up on him. Clevenger off the end of the bat. May kind of flinches a little bit, goes off the end of the glove. Clevenger picking up another base hit. Ball working away right off the end of the bat. And May with the flinch and then reaches, but a little too late, and slows it down just enough.
So the Orioles will try and take advantage. J.J. Hardy 1 for 1 off May. Orioles have their 7th hit of the ball game, and Hardy will take the pitch for a strike. J.J. drove in a run in the 6th inning on a lengthy at bat when he got a sac fly. Gibson 2 runs, 6 hits over 5 2/3. Casey Fiend an inning in the 3rd, 1 strikeout. Long hold. 0-1 to Hardy upstairs with a fastball. 0-2.
That ball just took off up and out of the zone. JJ shaking his head a little bit. Maybe that first fastball, we just say, whoa, I got to turn it up a little bit here. Gears up, and May runs it right up and out of the zone.
Here's the 0-2 delivery on the way. Hardy will take it down low, blocked again. Suzuki holds the runner at first base. Steve Clevenger. Clevenger with a 2 for 3, by the way, with 2 singles tonight. Represents the potential tying run for the Orioles. And Mauer chatting. One-two delivery on the way, and that's a strike. So May comes on and strikes the side out. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. 9th inning, it's a 1-run ball game. Twins lead it. Masson brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by Royal Farms. Royal Farms ATMs are surcharge free. Get your cash for nothing. Bank or credit card fees may still apply. Beautiful night at the ballpark. Gary Thorne and Mike Bordick. Twins have the 3-2 lead, and Garcia will try and set them down here in the 9th inning. Orioles will have Urrutia, Machado, and Parra due up in the bottom half of the 9th. Garcia came on, got the final out on 1 pitch in the 8th inning. Brad Rock 2/3 of an inning, 2 hits, 2 walks, 1 intentional, and 1 strikeout. Brian Mattis a 1/3 of an inning, a strikeout. Tillman, the pitcher of record for the Orioles, 3 runs, 4 hits, 6 2/3. Kurt Suzuki 0 for 2, but an RBI on a beautiful sacrifice bunt on the squeeze we showed you, and a strike taken.
Well, it's really been a great game. I mean, there's been some outstanding pitching, and the Twins execute some old school baseball in the bunts down, the hit and runs, manufacturing their 3 runs.
One delivery to him. He'll foul that one back. He's had 3 straight multi-hit games and an RBI in each of them. Doesn't look like that'll be continued here. He's had the 0 for 2, but he certainly contributed with that bunt in the 7th inning, one of the 2 RBIs in the inning. That's given the Twins the 3-2 lead. We'll take it outside, a ball and 2 strikes.
And you know, Paul Molitor's got to feel good about how Suzuki's handled this pitching staff. You know, that's been kind of on the decline since the break, but they've proven a lot of people wrong here in this series. Got the youngster to pitch very well, Duffy, in the first game, and he's played all 3 ball games. He did a performance this afternoon tonight by Gibson.
Garcia with a 1-ball 2-strike count on him. Escobar and then Buxton at the top of the order are due up. One-two delivery on the way. Had a reach for it, pops it up, second base. Scopes got it for the first out of the 9th inning. And Garcia, after being hidden most of the year with the injury, back up with the Orioles and starting to get some time in. Every performance that's a quality one for him just means the next time around he's got more of the faith of the manager. One down, breaking ball in there for a strike to Escobar.
Oh, it's so big for him. I mean, what a year for him to learn about what it's going to take to pitch at this level. Getting some unbelievable experience out in that bullpen. Just being in the big league clubhouse.
Down to first, Davis. Hello. 2 down. Nice play by Chris.
And the bullet right at him. Not a lot you can do. Just to hope you get yourself in a good position. Davis got down low. The harder it's hit, the lower you get. Gave himself the best chance. Come up with a nice play in the second out.
2 down, nobody on. Buxton at the top of the order. Base hit and an RBI, a sacrifice. You struck out and flied out. 4 hits, 14 at bats in this series. Jepson picked up the close in the save in the ball game last night. It's up again. This game's exactly like last night, except there's 1 run less on each side. That's how they finished last night. Was Fiend, May, Jepson, and now they've had Fiend, May, and Jepson's ready to go again. Byron Buxton. 1 ball, 1 strike count. And that'll be fouled off at the plate.
Well, this is something Garcia has been showing since coming back off the disabled list. That great movement on the fastball. 92 to 94 miles an hour. Occasionally get it up there 95, 96. But that nice life in the zone has helped him.
1-2 delivery on the way. Buxton will put it towards the gap. Parra was in. Diving. Can't get it off the end of the glove. Adam Jones has got to regroup to find it and will hold him to a double. Parra had a long run and is down.
Oh, he landed hard. Full extension. Just on the end of the glove. Almost came up with an incredible snow cone grab. Take a look at this effort. Elevated a little bit on the heater. And diving back and over. He got the hip a little bit there. Adam Jones backing up. One thing we've noticed about Adam Jones here, his positioning, detail to the game. Adam Jones is around every baseball hitting the outfield.
Parra's got the limp going on the right hip.
Yeah, landed on that hip as he tried to readjust as the ball was heading towards the gap.
So Buxton another base hit.
Number 66, TJ McFarland.
2 for 4 in the ball game. Boy, is that ever a potential big run. Here's Dozier, has already got an RBI single, 1 for 3 and a walk. And Dozier will take it for a strike.
And this situation here, the outfield better be on their toes because Buxton at second base can flat out fly. He got into second base quickly on that double.
Dozier's got 7 RBIs against the Orioles this year. He leads the Twins in that department. That'll be on the outside corner. Good location. Garcia 0-2.
With the big payoff pitch here.
Each team 7 hits in the ball game. 3-2 lead for the Twins. And Garcia trying to hold it right there.
Garcia has a real good slider, primarily fastball slider pitcher. He throws it hard.
Jammed him. Popped up. Hardy back. And Urrutia in. And he will make the play. No runs on 1 hit. No errors. 1 left on base. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Buckle it up. Urrutia, Machado, and Parra. Can pull one of those walk-offs off again in this homestand.
They're going to have their hands full. Kevin Jepson came in and closed the door last night. Here's a look at his arsenal. Fastball 92 to 96, used it 66% of the time. Has a curveball for the breaking ball, and the change, the straight change, 10% of the time. 2 wins on the year, 268 earned run average, 6 saves in 10 opportunities. 43 punch-outs, 24 walks on the year, holding opponents to a 211 batting average. Righties just 172. He's given up 4 long balls, and he is filling in for Perkins, who was actually leading the American League in saves with 31, but he came up with a neck problem, had an injection in his neck, so he's on the shelf for a little bit. Not DL'd, but not pitching in this series.
Through today, and they hope to have him back next week. So Jepson 6 out of 10 in save opportunities this season. Will face Urrutia, who will face him for the first time. Urrutia's had an RBI double, a single. He's 2 for 3 in the ball game. Oriole fans into it here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Each team 7 hits. Twins the 1-run lead. And Urrutia will take the pitch down low for a ball. Good job by May, who struck out the side, gave up 1 hit in the inning he worked. Casey Fiend, the pitcher of record, on the winning side at the moment. Tillman on the other side for the Orioles. 1-0 delivery. Urrutia will go to left field. They were playing very deep. Rosario right there. He got fooled on that, and you can see he went, ooh.
Yeah, I think that ball was up in the lights for a little while. So he had to wait for it to come out. Ended up getting down low to make that play. Nice swing by Urrutia.
That'll bring up Manny Machado. He too has not faced Urrutia. Base hit in the first inning, 1 for 4 in the ball game. 1 down, bottom of the 9th. Gibson's delivery. Both teams have had their chances in the ball game. 2 for 9 for the Twins, runners in scoring position. The Orioles 2 for 8. Orioles have left 5 on in scoring position. 4 for the Twins. 1 ball, 1 strikeout. Manny Machado with Parra waiting on deck. One delivery to him. Manny foul tip in the mitt. These 1-run ball games have really hurt the Orioles after they were such a big help last year. The Orioles, one of the top 3 teams in largest decrease in 1-run wins in the majors this year. Not over with this one yet, though. That one's going to be bounced in a 2-ball, 2-strike count.
Well, the Orioles have had some opportunities in this ball game. And, they had a lot all year to try to get out of those, overcome those 1-run losses. But new season now, and it starts here in the 9th inning. They've got to find a way to try to pull this one out.
2-2. Right field. Hunter's there, and there are 2 down. So the Orioles down to their final out to work with. And Parra coming up. Parra's had an 0 for 3 and a sacrifice in this game. 1 for 1 lifetime off Gibson. And Gibson after save number 7 on the year and 2 in a row against the Orioles. He's worked 5 2/3 innings now, given up 2 runs, 5 hits this year. Gibson has against the Orioles. Delivery to Parra is taken for a strike.
Parra's had a nice homestand, 4th home run this homestand. So right guy in the right spot here. He's not going to come up with another big hit.
Did not like the strike call. 0-1. Gibson's delivery to him, grounded. Tough one. Shortstop. Escobar gloves it. Throws. Picked at first base, and the ball game is over. Mauer with an outstanding play to end the ball game. So Gibson comes on and retires the side in order. 6 in a row have been won by the Twins against the Orioles this year. 7 in a row against the Orioles overall. And now the Orioles tomorrow will try and avoid a 4-game sweep. Tomorrow, Kevin Gausman takes the mound against Mike Pelfrey. Coverage on MASN begins at 1 with O's Extra presented by Southwest, followed by game coverage at 1:30. This has been a MASN presentation. O's Extra presented by PNC is coming up right now. Tom and Rick standing by. Yet another tight 1-run ball game. For Mike Bordick and all of our crew, final here. Twins win it over the Orioles 3-2. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon. Good Lord willing. Adieu.